All right, and there we are. Good afternoon, everybody, from the controller scopes once again. Vision 12 Lima Alpha, thank you very much. Identified flight level 360. Welcome to another edition of VATSIM ATC Live with Captain Naps, and we are today back in the Moncton Center. So I don't know if anyone caught my last stream. It was about a month ago, but we were in the Moncton Center then, and we're in the Moncton Center now. So yeah, I just have to get myself all organized. I just logged on, and I got way too much stuff going on here. So let me just try and see if I can get rid of some of these things here. I have way too many. These are all related to like a across the pond type event, and I don't need any of that. So let's get rid of it all. And then we are much better with our flight plan list. There we go. Perfect. All right. Welcome to, yeah.
Canada Center, good afternoon, Air Canada. 90428 is with you, flight level 380. We just exited the Nat Echo at Lumsey.
Air Canada 90428, Moncton Center, good day, Squawk Ident.
Squawk Ident, Air Canada 90428.
There he is. Air Canada 90428, thank you. Identified flight level 380, welcome. All right, so we have got a whole bunch of airplanes in our airspace here today. We're going to try and tag up some of these people here. Hopefully this is coming.
Thank you very much for Air Canada 90428. Good to be back home.
Almost there. Get some of these guys online here. And let's just make sure that my setup is correct here. Nope, that's not correct.
It's a very good afternoon, 15 with you, flight level 400.
And sorry, who was the last call?
Finnair 15 Heavy.
Finnair 15 Heavy, Moncton Center, hello, squawk code 3102.
3102 in the box, Finnair 15.
Northwest 628, flight level 360.
Sorry, that was Northwest 628?
Affirm, Northwest 628.
Northwest 628, good day, squawk a new code 3117.
Well, 3117, Northwest 628.
In Moncton Center, longship 605, level 90, 37 miles from Port T.
First Finnair 15 Heavy, you're identified, flight level 400, welcome. And Northwest 628 Moncton, you're identified at flight level 360, welcome. And Longship, sorry, what was the flight number?
Longship 605.
Longship 605, there you are. My list, squawk ident, please.
Roger, squawking ident, Longship 605.
All right, I hope that's not too loud. I'm going to turn
Moncton Center, so it's 262 Heavy, cruising flight level 360, about, or 370, correction, about 15 miles east of Nantucket.
All right, first Longship 605 Heavy, you're identified, flight level 390, thank you. And who was the other call there?
Delta 262 Heavy, cruising flight level 370, about 20 miles east of Nantucket.
Delta 262 Moncton, hello, squawk ident. All right, pardon me. Got to mute that before I clear my throat. All right. These guys are actually responsive today. It's kind of almost shocking. Delta 262 Heavy, thank you very much. You're identified. Flight level 370, welcome.
And Moncton Center, very good morning. This is Pakistan 785 Heavy, flight level 330.
Pakistani 785 Heavy, Moncton, hello. Squawk ident.
Squawk ident, 785 Heavy.
Hopefully we get Boston. I don't think we have Boston online, and that would be like most of these guys are going into Boston. So that would be good to get Boston online.
Moncton Center, very good evening. KLM 238 is with you, flight level 390 north of Port Manier Airport.
KLM 238 Moncton, hello, squawk ident.
Squawk ident, KLM 238.
Pakistani 785 Heavy, you're identified, flight level 330, welcome. And KLM 238, thank you. You're identified. Flight level 390. Welcome.
Thank you, 238.
All right. Wow. I'm frankly a little bit shocked at how quickly I got everybody on board, because normally it doesn't happen that fast. Normally it's normally it's like an hour or so to get everybody online. Nobody doing the oceanic stuff is at their computer. So I'm just like, I'm frankly a little bit shocked. I'm shocked that this many people are here. I haven't even started to deal with my local airports yet, but let's start dealing with it here. Halifax, first top of the list here. I don't know why that's there, but let's just get rid of. Why? Not sure why. Something wasn't quite working out there, but it's not the most comfortable chair in the world. It's actually not a bad comfortable chair, but it's like it's a
Moncton, Longship 605. Just wondering if we could set climb flight level 410.
Longship 605. That's approved. Climb flight level 410.
Climb flight level 410 for Longship 605.
All right. Why are you being slow? It shouldn't take you more than about 5 seconds to make a search and load the result page. But for some reason, my browser is being super slow here. I don't know why. Well, if in doubt, IT. Have you tried?
Moncton, hello, longboat 70, Alpha Flight level 380.
And sorry, that was Longboat 70 Alpha.
Affirm.
Longboat 70 Alpha Moncton. Hello, squawk a code of 3111.
3111, longboat 70 Alpha.
Hopefully, we'll get a few. We'll get a few interesting. Where'd he just go? There he is. Longboat 70 Alpha. Thank you very much. You're identified. Flight level 380. Hopefully, we get Boston Center. That's what I'm kind of hoping at this point. Oh, look, Halifax Approach just logged on. Hey, what do you know? Good, 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 good. So that'll hopefully. I'm hoping that'll help lure in some pilots if we get. Oh, look at people just coming now. Not only is there a Halifax approach, now there's a Moncton approach. Well then, I'll just throw up ATIS's in not Halifax and Moncton area. All right, well that's good. That solves me that. Then I will go straight to like St. John's. What's in St. John's today? Anything? Let's see here. CYYT. Strong, gusty down 28. 1700 foot overcast. It's fine. ILS runway 28, unserviceable. 17th of February, 1747. Uh-oh. Until 17th of February, 2359. Uh-oh. The ILS went down. Okay. Oh. Oops. Yeah. I clicked without looking that carefully.
Moncton Center, Vision 12 Lima Alpha. Could we have 5 minutes out of cockpit?
Vision 12 Lima Alpha Moncton. That's approved. Let me know when you're back.
We'll call for 12 Lima Alpha.
All right, so interesting. So we got no ILS in St. John's today. Not serviceable. Huh. All right. Let's see if this is in the ATIS report here. Let's see here. CYYT. Sometimes this doesn't get updated quickly. All right, let's see here. So I'm just gonna check this out here. OTAM's runway 1028 closed. This was 1 hour, 1 minute ago. Huh. Okay. Were they removing snow on it, or what was the deal? Because I don't see that as a NOTAM right now. So I see the ILS is offline. I don't see a RSC for 1028, which means they're working on it. So, oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay. All right. Well, let's roll with it. You know what? This is part of the joy of this job is trying to figure out how to roll with whatever you've got in front of you. So, where's my CYYT? All right. So, I'm going to go with 34, I guess. All right. And what is it?
Vision 12 Lima Alpha Heavy is back.
Mission 12 Lima Alpha Heavy. Thank you. All right. So, windy approach RNAV Zulu. Yankee 34. Inform center. Requested approach on initial contact. And then RSCs. And NOTAMs galore. Wow.
Longboat 70 Alpha request step to flight level 400.
Longboat 70 Alpha, that's approved. Climb flight level 400.
Climb flight level 400, Longboat 70 Alpha.
For some reason, my ATIS is not connecting. Why not? Oh, it did connect. It did connect in the end. Okay, it just took a moment. All right, so let me just make sure I've got everything here. All right, so I've got St. John's up, which is the big one that people like to fly to. We do have somebody inbound to Gander, so I should throw up a Gander ATIS. There's a Saint-Pierre at Miquelon tower too. Oh, I didn't even know Saint-Pierre Miquelon even had any ATC ever. That's crazy to see that there's a tower there. All right, let's do this. Let's do Saint-Pierre Miquelon tower. Let's do a Gander ATIS at the very least. So what's the winds doing in Gander? Let's see here. Gander, we're looking at 260 at 14. Altimeter 2928. Ooh, that is a low pressure. Now, do I have an ATIS report for Gander? This is going to be interesting. If anybody goes to St. John's, because I have to explain to them that there's no 1028, there's no ILSs. It's all RNAV all the time. Gander. I do have Gander. Oh, good, 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 good. So let's see here. Approaches RNAV runway 31. It's information. And actually, what I should do is update this. So this should be Romeo and St. John's to match the real world. And Gander should be, let's see here. So Gander, we say 31, RNAV 31, departure runway 31, and RSC for Gander for 31 is all of this. Connect you. Now let's just check the NOTAMs in Gander. If I did put Gander in there, I did. ILS 13 and taxiway Bravo Foxtrot closed due to no winter maintenance. Runway service conditions on 1331.000. Well, that's not what I got here. That's not what I got here at all. What is the date on this? That's 3 hours ago. Valid February 17th, 1530. These runway conditions are valid 1247. So they spent a couple hours working on it. They got it back up to running. So that's good. Okay, so these runway conditions are outdated. But we should probably add in ILS 13 unserviceable, ILS 03 unserviceable. Add that to my ATIS and make it information to match the real world. It should probably be about Charlie by now. Finnair 15 Heavy, you've left my airspace to the west and Boston's not online. Switch to the onward frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
Unicom now, Finnair 15 Heavy, thanks very much, bye.
Longship 605, same for you. You leave my airspace to the east. The oceanic sector is not online. Switch to the onward frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a great flight.
Alrighty, over to the dark side for longbow, correction, Longship 605, we'll see you later.
Take care. And Delta 262, you're just about to leave my airspace to the southeast, and radar contact is lost, so surveillance service is terminated, and switch to the onward frequency. Have a great day.
Alright, we'll go over to 22 point for Delta 262 Heavy. Have a good one.
You too. All right, so let me get my spaces up here so that I have, I guess it would help to have some online connectivity here. So I can say Gander, and let's do St. John, Gander St. John's. No, it wants me to log in first. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? Okay, now I think we're good. All right, Gander St. John's. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Get some information. I know it's tough. I know it's rough and tough trying to get information sometimes, but seems to be slow. Nope, there it is. It is connected. Let me just check and make sure. And okay. So I'm going to stick this off here on the one side where I can glance at it when I need some data here. All right. So we got a couple guys kind of coming together, some east, some west, but nobody is really okay, so why is this not working here? And is this just okay, there we go. All right, so we've got the localizer is working on 16, and that's it. We got DME on 28. We got nothing else. So something happened. Maybe it's the wind, the strong gusty wind, gusting at 290 or gusting at 29 knots, or maybe it's the what's the word I'm looking for here? Maybe it's the snow buildup has rendered the ILS unusable, but whatever the reason, no ILS. All right. So we got St. John's, we got Ganda. All right. And I think that's it for now. I don't think I'm gonna throw anything else up for now. I could throw up Goose Bay if I really wanted to. That's kind of pushing it, I think. I think I'll just stick with Gander and St. John's. All right, where was I here? There we go. All right, here's hoping we get some traffic now, and it's kind of good timing, fortuitous timing on my part. Let's see, we do already have somebody logged into Moncton. So we got one person logged in at Moncton already. I don't know where they're going. They don't have a flight plan filed yet, but we got one person logged in at Moncton. We got an inbound to St. John. That's coming from somewhere, coming from Europe, so he's not going to be there for 4 hours. I'm probably going to be logged off before he shows up. Likewise for the inbound from Gander, it's coming from the Azores by the looks of it. Not the Azores, from Katerina. So probably, again, not going to be here before I get there. And he inbounds to Halifax. We got one inbound to Halifax from the west. Can't see exactly where he is. He's kind of, can't see where he is, but he's somewhere southwest of, looks like he's east of Atlanta right now, southeast of Charlotte. So he will probably not be there for a while either, but well, whatever. What shocked me though is just how many people logged, like before I'd even started pinging people, I already had 2 or 3 people call me without even me having to ping them. And then the rest of these people all called pretty promptly when they entered my airspace, which is great. Just shocking. And the sad thing is, it's shocking. Mickey Ozzy, good evening. Listening and watching the stream while flying in the backyard. Flying in the backyard. I am confused by that statement. Do you have your computer out in the backyard? Is that the idea? Or you have like a RC aircraft or something out there in the backyard? I'm just curious. If you could elaborate, you piqued my curiosity with that statement. And sorry if it took me a few minutes to respond to that. It's up on my other screen over here where I was also looking at all my NOTAMs and trying to figure out all my ATISes for all my airports. So.
Center American 57 Heavy, flight level 380.
American 57 Heavy, Moncton Center, hello. Squawk a new code of 3106.
Wait, say the squawk one more time, please.
American 57 Heavy, squawk 3106.
3106, Captain American 57 Heavy.
All right. I haven't even zoomed out enough to see if there's anything really going on in the northern parts, but we do have Montreal. You can see this boundary here. American 57 Heavy, thank you very much. You're identified at flight level 380. As you can see, these kind of red boundary lines here, and they do show quite nicely on the video. These are my borders with Montreal. So this is my high-level border with Montreal, is the westernmost line. But then at low level, Montreal has this whole little kind of protrusion, if you will. And basically what it does for the most part is it covers a lot of the province of Quebec, so that Montreal can provide bilingual service throughout the province of Quebec. So this is kind of what's known as the North Shore of the St. Lawrence here. This is all interior parts of Quebec, but that way they can provide that bilingual service that they're required to in the province of Quebec. No worries, I just meant that I'm doing a short VFR flight from the airport around the corner to another one nearby. Nice, nice, nice. It's something nice about just doing some VFR flying once in a while. You know, when you're starting out and you're all young and kind of eager to get into the business, you can't wait to get out of VFR, get into IFR, where the meat and potatoes of it, where the real pilots are. I tend to kind of disagree with that now after having flown the meat and potatoes of it for a while. I tend to think that uh, there's almost more skill to VFR flying sometimes. IFR is there's a lot of rules to the flying. It's a very organized, rule-based system, which of course makes sense with what you're trying to do. Generally high-speed aircraft flying at high altitudes over long distances in close proximity to one another, trying to get the job done. It's a very business-like atmosphere for the most part. VFR tends to be much more laid back and with a lot less rules, pilots can sort of, I hesitate to say make up their own rules, but if it's not against the rules, you can follow your own techniques. You could definitely, it could be a lot more fun. I've been doing, for those of you guys that have been watching the channel, uh, I've been doing the Patagonia bush trip, live streaming the Patagonia bush trip, and what a mental workload that is trying to just decipher just these very basic VFR instructions and trying to get from place to place doing that. I mean, to me, it's getting place to place using airways now is such a simple concept. Once you've got to learn it, like I said, it's so systematic, it's so organized, it's so easy to understand. You don't even have to really worry about it so much. But when you're dealing with VFR, you're dealing with again, just not as organized. Like literally the descriptions in Patagonia, if you go and watch the bush trip, 95% of the descriptions involve the word shore, uh, shore, outcropping, island. Very few of them involve the word road for the most part. Stream. It's there's and especially through Patagonia, there's so little to look at except for the landscape, and you're trying to describe the landscape and not necessarily using names, but just describing how it looks. So this rocky outcropping over there, the 12 o'clock crossing the islands. Yeah, 100% I agree. VFR is more fun. Yeah, Mickey Ozzy said I agree. VFR is more work and preparing, but also more fun sometimes. It's less automated. And I would say that the amount of preparation can be more, can be less. It depends on the situation in a lot of cases. Some people don't prepare much for VFR. Some people know where they're going and they can get up and go right away. If you're going to somewhere you haven't been before, yeah. IFR tends to be fairly organized. There tends to be a lot of planning to it, which is why it gets executed so well because you pick a route and everything like that, and you move along the route and it works quite well. So, um, but yeah, there's something very fun about just VFR, about just sort of let's go do our own thing. And like I said, like I've done these bush trips with a couple people in the past, and there was one we did one of the Australian bush tours one time, and we were just having tons of fun. We were out in flow planes, and just for the fun of it, we just decided, hey, let's just sit down on the ocean for a little while and just kind of taxi around. We kind of stopped making any forward progress. We're just like, yeah, let's just sit down and just kind of muck around on the ocean a little bit. So we all blunked down on the ocean, tried to get ourselves kind of lined up as best we could, take a few screenshots of all the flow planes in a line. I think there were 5 of us, 4 or 5 of us. So it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to do, but it was quite fun to do. And yeah, we really had a kick at it. And that's the thing is like VFR allows you kind of that variation, that fun little kick. Uh, IFR, it's not as much fun in that sense, but there certainly is an immense satisfaction that comes from well-flown IFR that is well planned, well executed according to the plan. And American 57, Moncton, short stay with me today. Unfortunately, the Boston Center is not online at this time. You can switch to the honored frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have a great day. And now he's not. American 57, Moncton. American 57, Moncton. All right. Well, I'll just try to turf you to Unicom anyways, so 300 at 25, gusting 38. Got some strong winds in St. John's. I wonder if anybody's even gonna.
I think he did a fly and run.
You might be right. Um, Yeah, I wonder if we'll sucker anybody into St. John's. As I would love to see somebody try this. It's not going to be pretty, that's for sure. All right, I could probably ditch this because I have a a Halifax approach controller, but I can get the approach YYT, I can get the ground CYYT just up and running just in case these guys come and log on and want to fly, and I'm hoping they do. So, hey guys, if you want to, please feel free to log on. Let's see here, what are we doing here time-wise? I've got about 2.5 hours till I have to log off. So if you're thinking about flying and you want something good, you can easily do this Halifax St. John's run an hour. St. John's, the weather is not great. It is super gusty. Surprise, surprise! It's windy in St. John's. I realize that's a huge surprise, but super windy, and there's no ILSs basically. You're going to be doing an RNAV to the short runway because that's the only thing that's open right now in St. John's. I'll have to keep an eye on this, and actually, there's probably a new ATIS out by now. So let's have a quick look. See here. Let me just put it up here. Because there's a good chance that runway 1028 will reopen at some point. Right now, this is still the old one from 1 hour and 1 minute ago. Information Romeo was 1 hour and 1 minute ago is when it was scraped, anyways. Yeah, so it's not great there right now, but it's not terrible. The weather's okay. It's 15 miles broken 1800. It's just a very, very strong gusting northwesterly wind. It's actually not too bad. It is kind of favoring 34 really a little bit, which is good. And yeah, so, but yeah, if you want to give yourself a challenge as a pilot, come on down. We are open here in the Moncton Center. I'm going to turn myself up a little bit here because I find this looks like it's not transmitting very loudly on my mic. So I don't know if I can move this any closer. If that really makes a difference, that doesn't seem to make a difference. But you know what, it probably is. And I didn't actually check for this, and I should get in the habit of checking for this. But Windows just loves to mess with the input sounds of your mic, especially if you unplug it and plug it back in again. Even if it's the same mic in the same port, because it's a USB mic, every time you plug it in, it turns the volume back down again. Let's see here. Device properties. Yeah. What if I turn that up a lot? There we go. That's a bit better. Oh, that might almost be too much, but I'd rather kind of down it here a little bit here in my streaming software, but at least have a good solid output. So hopefully that's not clipping or anything like that. But there, hopefully that's a little bit louder, a little bit more balanced. I don't know. And I don't know why Microsoft does this, but I question a lot of things Microsoft does. Their commitment to technological usefulness has really gone downhill the last 10 years or so. It's very frustrating to try and deal with it, constantly like having to deal with Windows failing you. It's like not even with failing you, but just like the constant like barrage of ads within Windows and everything else, and this constant like trying to monetize the fact that they have Windows installed on your computer. It's just like I just need my operating system to be an operating system. I don't need to be an advertising system, but the line has blurred. Pakistani 785 Heavy Moncton, you're leaving my airspace to the east. The oceanic sector is not online. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Roger, switching to Uniform Altitude Decimal 785. Thanks for the coming up online and have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a great day. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, good. The quality is good because it's just like I've a couple times when I'm just kind of watching the level over there, and it does kind of just hit just the red arc a couple times, which I think is just about the ideal volume where it's loud enough that it's kind of matching other people. It's not too loud for it's loud enough that things are clear enough. I've had so many issues in the past with streaming where like this, I go to listen to the stream afterwards when I go to put it up online, and I find like, oh look, it recorded like half volume and it's super quiet the whole time, and I have to crank it and distort it just to get it to like kind of a reasonable volume when I upload it. So I'm forever fighting that, but yeah, I've been really enjoying this Patagonia bush trip. So I did the first 7 legs of it, which is basically half the trip I've done it. I've live streamed it, and the last one it started to get a little bit long towards the end because it was only 3 legs, but the third leg I did was a very long leg. It took like an hour and 20 minutes to do it. It was like 160 miles in the X Cub, and yeah. I'd already been streaming for about 2 hours when we started it, so I started to fade halfway through it. I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I can keep myself alert and awake enough to uh, keep myself, focused on it. And we got there in the end, but it was longer than I wanted. But it's fun. Like, it's really fun to kind of discover these places. Patagonia's got some beautiful scenery, but it's funny to see the limitations of Microsoft Flight Simulator. The sim has been promoted as being like highly realistic with like really realistic scenery, and that's not always the case. That's assuming the data exists. That they need the data to work with, and that's been the problem with. That's been the problem with Microsoft Flight Simulator, is that the data it doesn't exist in a high fidelity everywhere. It exists most places to a pretty good degree, but it doesn't exist everywhere. So you get to some of these extremities of the planet, you get to Antarctica or even like the Patagonia region of South America, and there's not a whole lot of data available. And that's where we start to run into problems. So there's not a whole lot of good quality, highly detailed satellite imagery available, and so there's actually it reverts to land classes. 160 miles in the Cub. I hope you brought coffee and
Moncton,
sandwiches.
good afternoon. It's Speedbird 7 Tango Golf, flight level 380.
Speedbird 7 Tango Golf, Moncton Center. Good afternoon. Squawk code 3160.
Squawk 3160 for Speedbird 7 Tango Golf.
My computer just a little closer to me here. Yeah, that was a long way to go. Longboat 70 Alpha Moncton, your leave my airspace to the west. Boston Center is not online. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Good afternoon. Thanks for help. Longboat 70 Alpha.
Take care. Speedbird 7 Tango Golf, your identified flight level 380. Welcome. Yeah, it was a long slog, and there was a point in the trip too where I thought I had mucked it up. The way it was described, it was basically like a 50-50 like split, and I couldn't figure out which way to go, and so I had to just sort of take a chance on the one side, and I took the right turn instead of the left turn, and it turned out to be the right decision in the end, because I got to the destination in the end. But boy, that was a long one. But yeah, doing that Patagonia bush trip, you see some of the limitations of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and underneath it's still the same sim. It's been prettied up a lot. It's been a lot of makeup applied to the sim, but underneath it's still the same simulator as FSX. It's still that same basic land class system underneath. So if the satellite data fails you, if you lose your streaming data, you get disconnected from the internet or whatever, you lose your streaming data, or if the servers fail, if Microsoft servers fail, and that has happened a couple times, or if you end up in an area of the world where there is very little data, it reverts back to this land class system where that's farm field, this block is farm field, this block is water, this block is forest, and it's just like it's extremely blocky. This block is glacier. It's like it's a bit disappointing, because it's funny that like some of these bush trips that are kind of sold on kind of seeing the simulator and seeing the world with the simulator, then fly through some areas that do not have good data. Do not have they have either poor data or poor satellite images, all sorts of you'd think that they would really want to highlight the areas where they have really good detail and where it looks just like real life. And so I almost had to use my imagination a little bit with the Patagonia trip. Go right back to the FSX days and just sort of close your eyes and imagine, okay, so this is forest over there, fields over here, water over there. Okay, this is what it probably looks like in real life. Which is a little bit disappointing, because it is some absolutely gorgeous scenery in that part of the world. It really, truly is. But there's just not that much data on it. So Microsoft has created databases based on the data they could find, and I'm sure probably in the beginning it was probably pretty easy. They were probably able to get data for 70% of the land areas on the planet pretty quickly and easily with all the satellite imagery that already exists. But then when they got down to that last 30% of the land areas on the planet, where you're kind of at the extremes of the poles and you're not getting good satellite coverage, you're not getting a lot of visitors to create the data, you're getting some very basic data, then it was probably a bit of a challenge for them shopping around trying to find, hey, does anyone have this data that we can use, that we can try and what am I trying to say? Just try and process and provide some background data for people to fly over. yeah, this is going to be the question with with MSFS 2024 when most data will come through the wire via streaming. What happens if the internet fails? And they're in, yeah, and this generation of Microsoft Flight Simulator, that is the double-edged sword you're running. It's a beautiful looking sim when the data's there, but the data's got to come to you from somewhere. The amount of data you've stored on your computer does not it does not even come close to covering the worldwide coverage, the kind of data, the quality of data that you're looking for. Good evening, Hayden UK. Welcome to Moncton Center today. We got not much going on. I got some arrival controllers, so I don't have much going on except overflights today. I am just an overflight monitor today. Most people have been pretty good about calling me though, almost shockingly so. People are getting the word out on the VATSIM network. But yes, that is one of the big questions with FS 2024 is, yeah, how much data is going to be available if and when we lose connection to the internet. At least with 2020, that a good portion of that, whatever it is now, the default installation is 40 or 50 gigs. I don't even know what it is anymore. Like, obviously, we got so many add-ons and everything, but the default installation does provide a basic LAN class model for the whole world. So when you lose that streaming data, you do have some very basic LAN class stuff. So you can still carry on. The idea behind 2024, I think, was to eliminate more and more of the data and the downloads and really make it all stream as much as possible in real time. And that's reasonable to a point. But yeah, what happens when your internet fails? Guess what? Your internet provider went down. Guess what? You're not doing any flying either because you need all that streaming data. So this is the double-edged sword that we live in now in this streaming era, is that as long as you're connected to the internet, the world is your oyster. Anything you want is at your fingertips. You name it, you can watch it. You can stream any movie you want, stream any TV show you want. You can play games and do everything else. Unless the internet fails. If the internet fails, you have nothing. At least, in the older age, if when the cable went out, well, throw in a tape in the VCR. We'll watch whatever movie we got. We got a library of 10 movies at home. 7 of them are kids' movies, but at least we got something to watch. Now, when the internet goes down, you've got nothing for entertainment. And this is kind of the problem we live in. And this is what I'm arguing against. Like, this whole idea of the smart home is not really a smart home. It's a connected home, but it's not very smart. A truly smart home would be able to maintain its smarts even when it's not connected to the internet. And this is kind of what I'm looking for now personally. And that's kind of been, if I even want to go down that road, and there are parts of me that question whether or not I do. When I do go down that road, I'm now looking for exclusively, I won't say exclusively, but I'm really trying to find products that work when the internet is not available. And that's not, that is a smart device.
Moncton, hello, Darkstar 1 at Federal 2750. Speed is to 5,420 knots.
Darkstar 1, say again the altitude?
Level 2750.
Darkstar 1, you're well above my control airspace. If you're approaching flight level 600, give me a call.
Okay, that is excellent.
That's why I don't even see him, because he's floating way above my airspace here. Now you guys are going to hear this alarm going off probably for a little bit. No, you guys don't even hear it. No, it's coming out of my other speaker. That's fine. This guy's at 380, but he's showing 381, hence it's giving it an alarm. I should really... I'll wait about 1 more minute before I make him a traffic point out here. All right, this is one of the first guys to enter my airspace that does not want to talk to me. He's probably not going to be the last, but I'm going to keep pinging him. But yeah, that to me is the definition of a smart home, is when a smart device is a device that can work without being connected to the internet. Being connected to the internet does not make it smart. That generally makes it dumb, because then if it loses more functionality if you're not connected to the internet. So I'm kind of looking, I've been looking kind of and doing some research and trying to figure out if I can create my own smart home system that is internal to my house, set up some kind of a simple box like a Raspberry Pi box or something that devices in my home can connect to. And then even when the internet does not work, guess what? My light switches work. My thermostat works. All my stuff works, even when the internet is offline. Because if the internet goes offline and the stuff stops working, then what's the point? And not only that, but you're just living in perpetuity in these companies' shadows. Speedbird 7 Tango Golf. You may see opposite direction traffic over about your 1 o'clock for about 25 miles as an eastbound 37 at 390.
We'll look out for the traffic, speedbird 7 Tango Golf.
And KLM 238, traffic for you as well at your 1 o'clock for about 18 miles is a westbound 777, level at 380.
Roger that. Yeah, we have the traffic on TCAS. We'll keep correction spotted at 777.
Roger, thank you. I'm going to keep pinging this guy very regularly because now I've been here. This guy is at flight level 868. People having their fun.
And Moncton, we have the traffic for speedbird 7 Tango Golf.
Speedbird 7 Tango Golf, thank you very much.
Moncton Center, hello again. Darkstar 1 approaching flight level 600, going speed 3,606 knots.
Darkstar 1, hello, squawk code 3147.
3147.
All right, they're almost past each other. Stop.
And Darkstar 1, just for your information, we don't have autopilot, so the altitude is going to be varying a little bit.
And Darkstar 1, just confirm the squawk code 3147.
Oh, sorry, about 3147.
It's got to be this guy because nobody else could move that fast. Darkstar 1, thank you. Identified through 605. I'll give you a block in controlled airspace. Remain at or above flight level 500.
At or above 500, Darkstar 1.
That will keep him away from all the rest of my traffic easily. 3,600 knots. Yeah. Well, on the other hand, you can get from North America to Europe in a very reasonable amount of time at 3,600 knots. So you can actually do the whole flight, see the whole thing, and still be home in time for dinner. Sometimes, I poke fun at it a little bit, but at the same time, it's kind of fun. It's kind of like, you know what? It throws a little variety in my life for sure. Look at how this guy is going to cross my entire airspace in like 7 minutes. All right.
Just to confirm, Darkstar 1, so we can climb back to flight level 2750?
Darkstar 1, affirmative. In controlled airspace, you're cleared to maintain a block 500 to 600. Above 600 is uncontrolled.
Okay, thank you. Please turn 500 and 600, Darkstar 1.
That will keep him away from everybody else, and I still get to monitor him. Beautiful. I mean, and I kind of like the Concorde for that same reason. It's a bit of a beast to fly in terms of just being very antiquated. I've tried to fly it. I've had issues with trying to get the autopilot to work and everything properly, but the whole idea of getting across the ocean in 3 hours instead of 7 or instead of 5, 6, 7, 8, it makes a lot of sense. Faster than the Cub, yeah. Yeah, kind of the opposite end of the spectrum from me flying the Cub. Oh, I love it. But hey, everyone gets to have their own fun in this network. I always say that. Like I try to be as much as possible. I try to be accommodating of everybody as much as I think I can. And we're here to have fun. And certainly, who am I to draw the line on what's realistic or not necessarily in this simulation? As long as especially if you're not affecting other people, then go and have fun with it. But like, who am I to say that?
Darkstar 1 going over to Unicom.
And Darkstar 1, okay, thank you. Your surveillance service terminates. Over to Unicom.
All right.
Who am I to say, like, oh, you can't fly Northwest because that airline went out of business 20 years ago, or you can't fly a Clipper, you can't fly a DC-6 because there's only 3 active in the world, and you're not one of those 3 active ones in the world. Oh, you can't fly an A320 in Southwest colors. Who am I to make those judgment calls and say where the line between reality and the line is drawn between reality and fiction? Because in the real world, I'm not an air traffic controller, so the whole thing is fictional, right? Like, who am I to say? So as long as he's having fun and not causing issues to everybody else, he's obviously able to control his aircraft to a degree anyways, and remain within a certain cleared area, then I say have at her, have fun. Let's all have fun doing this. Okay, I'm going to keep on sending you contact me every couple of minutes, and eventually you're going to get a talk from a supervisor because I'm just not going to deal with it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time dealing. I don't have all that much to ask people. You just got to check in with me. That's all you got to do. It doesn't even take that much effort to check in with me. Oh well. So how many people watched the Phoenix Block 2, version 2 Block 2 trailer video that was put out this past week? Completely agree. Everybody has the right to enjoy the sim like they want with respect for others. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a line I'm going to draw. The only line I'm going to draw is
Moncton Center, good day, Lufthansa 4 Juliet, flight level 390.
Lufthansa 4 Juliet, Moncton Center. Hello, squawk code 3156.
Squawk 3156, Lufthansa 4 Juliet.
Yeah, the only...
Moncton Center, KLM 496 inbound to Lumsey, flight level 400.
KLM 496, Moncton, hello, squawk code 3126.
3126 in the box 496.
Lufthansa 4 Juliet Heavy, you're identified, flight level 390. For domestic airspace, you're going to need an even altitude. Do you want to go down to 38 or up to 40?
I think that's climb flight level 40, Lufthansa 4 Juliet.
Lufthansa 4 Juliet Heavy, that's approved. Climb flight level 400.
Climb flight level 400, Lufthansa 4 Juliet.
KLM 496 Heavy, you're identified, flight level 400. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the only place I'm gonna draw the line on your fantasy is when your fantasy starts hindering other people's enjoyments of the network. That's the only place where I start to draw the line, and I say, okay.
Moncton Center, Air Canada 90428. Just noticed that we're going to be leaving your airspace to the west. Are we going to be contacting Montreal Center shortly?
Yeah, Air Canada 9428, affirmative. I'm going to have you over to Montreal in about 150 miles.
150 miles noted, Air Canada 90428.
Yeah, as long as you're not interfering with other people's enjoyment. It's when your attempt to, subvert reality. You're trying to fly, you're trying to accelerate time 5 times on a popular route during cross the pond, and you're flying right through everybody else. Okay, that's where I'm going to draw the line. But for the most part, I try to let people do what they would like to do as much as possible. 2 minutes after the launch, I watched it. They're putting some goodies into Block 2. Yeah. Here's the interesting one is, if you guys watched it, and for anyone who didn't watch it, so there's all sorts of special features coming to the engines now. All sorts of...
And Air Canada 90428, just wanted to thank you very much for coordinating the traffic separation from the Dark Star. I was actually kind of nervous that we might collide into it, so...
Air Canada 90428, no problem. That's the job. Yeah.
I'm on Center, good evening. Lufthansa 461 with flight level 350.
And, sorry, who was that?
Lufthansa 461.
Lufthansa 461, Moncton, hello. Squawk a code of 3155.
3155, Lufthansa 461.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of neat engine stuff coming into the Phoenix, and probably one of the best things, certainly something that's going to impact ATC on VATSIM, is going to be the ice blade, the fan blade ice buildup simulation. Lufthansa 461, you're identified at flight level 350. And I feel like we could talk about this because it really is going to impact ATC a lot, because the one thing that Amir was kind of really emphasizing in the video, and it's important, but it's important that it be done correctly, is doing the ice shed in position before the takeoff roll, which is not necessarily the appropriate place to do it. Vision Jet 12 Lima Alpha, you're leaving my airspace to the west. Boston's not online. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have a great day.
Holding account 122.8 for Vision 12 Lima Alpha. Thank you for the service and have a good day. See ya!
Take care. KLM 238, you're about to leave my airspace to the east. The Gander Oceanic is not online. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Roger that. In that case, I'm gonna switch to Unicom. Thank you very much for your excellent APC, and I wish you a pleasant night. Bye bye.
Take care. Thank you. Yeah, so basically, of course, what happens if you're taxiing around in ground icing conditions for any length of time is that ice can build up on the blades of the of your turbofan, of the fan on your engine. It's perfectly kind of normal, and there's nothing that can remove that ice when the engine's running, other than doing an engine run. Oh, hold on one second. Yo,
That's Lufthansa 461.
stand by one.
Is it possible if we can get flight level 390?
All right, so it looks like my Moncton arrival controller is leaving. And sorry, that was Lufthansa 461 you had a request?
Yes, sir.
Lufthansa 461, go ahead.
Is it possible we can get flight level 390?
Lufthansa 461 Heavy, that's approved. Climb flight level 390.
390, Lufthansa 461.
All right, so he's leaving. So he's going to drop the ATIS in Fredericton. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab the ATIS for Fredericton here. So let me just actually do this. So I need NOTAMs for Fredericton. I did get NOTAMs for Fredericton. Why do I not see it here? Gander. Fredericton, there it is. Just because I need runway conditions. You just always need runway conditions. All winter long. Constantly need runway conditions. So just cutting and pasting the current runway conditions in Fredericton. There we go. And it was Lima, so we'll just pull it up as Lima. All right, and then he said Moncton was on Alpha still. I think I should be able to get an ATIS report from Moncton. For some reason, this is not. There it is. That's very old. Not even gonna look at it. Alpha. All right, let me just pull up my NOTAMs for Moncton. Anything exciting? Runway condition reports. Yankee trigger NOTAMs. Nope, just there we go. Moncton is 24. All right, so runway 24 is primary. And I'll put 29, I guess, as well. That's the way the wind is kind of going. That is the way the winds are blowing. All right, so we got Alpha back up in Moncton now. All right, this guy is starting to bug me that he's making it this far and not talking to anyone. It's been now 41, 35. It's now been 20 minutes since I first pinged him. All with no joy. All right, let's go down and let's just get the Moncton arrival as well here. Just so that, again, the key to center is being prepared, being on it ahead of time. And they do have a tower controller down there, so there's definitely things going on. All right. So I probably don't need the ground view in Moncton then for now. All right, but we do have a tower controller down there who's working everything for us nicely. I thought I put Pietas up, but I don't see it. No, it is back up. Yep. Okay, good. Don't see a whole lot of traffic out of Halifax yet, which is kind of surprising. Normally by this time we should have quite a bit of traffic, but anyways, sorry guys. So I get distracted by the job at hand here. But yeah, so the fan blade ice simulation is if you allow enough ice to accumulate on the fan blades, you won't be able to generate takeoff power. So basically, as you fly, as you're not flying, but generally as you're running at low power settings. Yeah, so as ice accumulates on the blades, especially when you're operating on the ground, you may not be able to get enough airflow through the blades themselves to actually generate takeoff power. And so what you're supposed to do is at least every 30 minutes per Airbus, at least every 30 minutes. Samir said every 15. The Airbus says as long as it's done at least every 30. It's usually sufficient. I mean, in extreme conditions, you might need to do it more often. But basically, yeah, if you don't do a periodic engine run where you get the engine to at least 70% and hold it there for at least 30 seconds, where the extra speed will force the ice off. The centripetal acceleration around and the inertia of the ice will throw it off outwards off the blades. If you don't do that, you may not be able to get takeoff thrust. And so the one thing he said, and I take issue with it, is he said, make sure you line up on the runway and then do another run up before takeoff. If you're going to line up on the runway and do a 30-second run up before you start rolling, you have to communicate that with ATC. And that was the one thing that I kind of take issue with, and it's gonna bite us, I think, on the VATSIM network a little bit, is that we're going to get guys flying this Airbus and trying to do the right procedures and being diligent, and that's fine. But you have to make sure that you have to make sure that you tell ATC that you're going to need 30 seconds, because if at a busy event, at a busy airport, if you're cleared for takeoff, the assumption is you're going to commence the takeoff roll within 5 to 10 seconds of that clearance, not 30 seconds down the road, or not even taxi position, wait there for 30 seconds and then start rolling. If you start doing that a lot, you're going to be causing a lot of go-arounds. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of airports actually don't want you to do the ice shedding runs on the runway. They want... I love it when the hotel TVs automatically switch back to the ads after a certain amount of time. Yeah, so a lot of airports, they don't actually want you to do the engine run on the runway. They want you to do it just short of the runway, either in the holding bay, or there'll be a very specific designated area where they will make sure that there's nobody behind you if you've told them to do it, that you're going to do a run. But doing it on the runway is often not feasible. So again, the official word is that as long as the engine run is done within 5 minutes prior to the start of the takeoff, that's considered acceptable. That's considered for the purpose of the definition of do an engine run immediately before takeoff. Anything up to 5 minutes before takeoff is considered acceptable for that. So a lot of airports, Toronto especially, is one that has very specific areas where they want you to do the run-ups. And part of this is just because of the sheer volume of traffic. The other half of it is you have to notify ATC, and it's usually in the ATISs. And apparently, I'm thinking that we're going to have to start putting this in the VATSIM ATISs. It's going to have to start saying notify ATC if run-up is required, because ATC needs to plan on that run-up. They need to create that time for you to do the run-up. Either if it's on a taxiway, they need to make sure that with the point where you're doing the run-up, there's nobody behind you for a good couple hundred feet. So anybody else who's taxiing behind you, they have to tell them to stop, wait, let you do the engine run, and then they can taxi behind you again. Or if you're going to do it in position, then there needs to be enough room. So yeah, if you go to the Toronto charts, the Jeppesen charts 10-9 Lima and 10-9 Mike. And if I can pull this up here for a second, there's nothing much is happening right now. Let's see here, hold on. See if I can pull this up here. So that should get me that. There we go. So that's 10-9. That's 10-9 Lima. Single engine taxi operation, blah, 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 blah. But basically, the idea is that there's actually a whole bunch of designated ice shed areas. And the whole idea of these areas is that these are areas where the snow removal crews will put a lot of extra effort into removing snow and putting extra ice melting chemicals down in these areas to ensure that there is very high levels of traction. So there's a whole bunch of them designated, generally approaching the thresholds of the various runways. So you can see on a kind of a typical taxi out you might do from Terminal 1, if you go through the de-icing bay, and if you're doing blade ice shedding, fan blade ice shedding, you probably went through the de-icing bay, so you can see that as we go to runway 06 left and right, there's an ice shed right here, just at the Cat 2 free hold line. There's one right there. So not only would they ask you to do the run up there and then advise when it's complete, but anybody else who's taxiing behind would be asked to hold short. So if you're coming out of the icing bay, they'll be Foxtrot hold short at Delta. That way, the jet blast from this guy doing the run up this direction doesn't blow anybody else around. So you'll notice another one here at ice shed 1 for 33 left. You'll notice 2 here on the way to 05, so you can have 2 airplanes doing it simultaneously, and they're like 1,500, 2,000 feet apart, so you could have 2 airplanes easily sitting there, no problem. Another one near the threshold 33 right. Another one near the threshold of 23, 24 right. So there's various ones all around the airport. These are the areas that generally they want you to do these run-ups, partly because A, they've been cleared specifically to a high level to ensure that they can. That aircraft can sit there with the brakes set and the tires are not going to slide on snow and ice, but also, minimal hazard to other vehicles and structures around, so they're all kind of aligned with long taxiways. But the ATC still needs to know, because they need to make sure nobody's coming up behind you just because you're cleared to run at ice shed 2. Nobody should be probably, I don't know what the criteria is, but right off the top of my head, but I would think at least 300 or 400 feet behind you. You need to make sure that there's nobody there behind you. So this is going to be interesting on VATSIM, because I think people are not going to be aware of this. They're going to follow the procedures that Phoenix is kind of giving them here, which is fine. That part is true, but it's going to create additional problems. Just in terms of people not necessarily knowing all the procedures that are associated with it. They know the aircraft technical procedures. They don't know the what's the word I'm looking for here? But they don't know how to handle it from a airspace ATC procedure, and ATC needs to be involved in this stuff. Air Canada 9428, contact the Montreal Centre now on 128.77. Good day.
Over to Montreal Centre, 128.775. Thank you very much for your service. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Moncton, good afternoon. Walker 1942, heavy flight level 3402 miles offset.
Walker 1942, Moncton, hello, squawk code 3107.
3107, Walker 1942.
All right, so I got another slew of people coming into my airspace here. There we go. Walker 1942, thank you very much. You're identified flight level 340.
Good afternoon.
Matt Walker 1942, just to confirm, you are going to terminate the offset at Lomsey there?
Hey, firm, we're going to terminate the offset at Lomsey.
Thank you. All right. Surprised we still haven't gotten any local traffic yet now. I've been online for an hour.
Moncton, sir. Good afternoon. Speedbird 6 November Charlie Heavy, flight level 30.
Speedbird 6 November Charlie Heavy, Moncton. Hello, squawk code 3133. I know that voice.
3133, Speedbird 6 November Charlie.
Someone I haven't seen control in a long time, but nice to see he's still flying the network. Speedbird 6 November Charlie, thank you. You're identified at flight level 380. Bienvenue. All right. This guy, I think it's been now over 35 minutes since the first time I tried to get him to call me. 2035 is now 2105, so now he's going to be somebody else's problem. And then there's a Clipper 55. Do I care that Clipper never did Clipper ever fly 310s? I feel like they didn't. I feel like Juan Tripp really liked his Boeing products. Let's see, I'm just trying to find jet age. Boeing 707. Douglas DC-8s. 747. Did have options on the Concorde. Never did, but... All right, come on, Clipper 55. Is there anything here that actually lists their fleet? Oh, here we go. Fleet history. They did operate A310s, actually. Oh, shoot. I didn't even know that. They operated A300s, A310s, 727s, 737s, 747s, and even operated ATR 42s and Dash 7s on Pan Am Express. Historically, they operated A300s, A310s, A320s. Nope, they ordered them and never delivered. Ordered 50, never delivered. Canceled. 707, 727. So they did buy Airbus aircraft. They did have TriStars, DC-8s, DC-10s. Okay, cool. I'm just interesting. You know, it's one of those. It's almost attained a mythical status now. But you think Pan Am, you think the original flying boat Clippers, and you think the 47. Is life treating me well? I hope so. Yeah, life is treating me pretty well. It's been all right. Last week or so, I had a bout of food poisoning last week, but that was lasted about a day. That was unpleasant, but otherwise, life is treating me fine. Just work seems to be what I do most of the time. It's funny how even one day of illness kind of throws you off when you don't have that many days off, and it happened to be on a day off, and you have things you're like, I have a list of stuff I have to get done and things like that. And one day of like illness, and like it floored me. Like I was just completely down for the count for the entire day.
Clipper 55 Heavy level 360.
Clipper 55 Heavy, Moncton Center, hello, squawk code 3167.
Squawk 3167, Clipper 55.
Northwest 628 Heavy, you're about to leave my airspace to the west, and the Boston Center is not online. Switch to the onward frequency, surveillance service terminates, and have a great day.
If you call me Snap Northwest 628, boy.
Clipper 55 Heavy, thank you. Identified flight level 360. All right, so at least these three airplanes I have, they're kind of overtaking each other, but they're all at different altitudes, so that's fine. You guys can overtake all you want as long as you're different altitudes. That's the Walker. What's he in? He's in a triple. He's really outpacing the 310, and I think he's gained on the Dreamliner as well. I hope life's treating you guys well as well. Sorry. Keep getting distracted. I hope life is treating you guys well as well. Hope you're enjoying the winter. How has the winter been in the UK? Um, because for Canada, anyways, it's been hit or miss depending on where you are in Canada. But especially in kind of central Canada and in Ontario, winter has been pretty much a miss. It's been hovering around the freezing mark. It's been below, it's been above, it's been quite warm. Last week we set a record, I think it was 15 degrees one day. I was like, holy jimboli, that's a warm day for mid-February in Canada. But that's been this winter. It's been, sorry, Colin Center? Runway 29 or 24? Yeah, release is valid for Voyager 791 off 24. Yeah, so I don't know if it's been the same for you guys at all. Different parts of Canada have obviously had different experiences. I think overall the winter has been mild for a lot of Canada. There was a deep freeze, and the prairies got a really, really bad deep freeze at the mid-January for like about a week. It was super, super bitter cold. But I think overall, on average, it's been warmer than usual most of the time. And I think for a lot of parts of Canada, less snow than usual until the last week or so on the East Coast where they got absolutely dumped on huge amounts of snow. So it's hard to make generalizations, especially in a country as big as Canada, but certainly the area of Canada I've lived in, it's been a very mild winter. We got some snow the other day, and it was, I think, the first time we'd seen an accumulation of snow that stuck around for more than about an hour in probably 3 months. I think we had some snow in November or December that stuck around for a couple days, but then yeah, all through Christmas, January, and into mid-February until like a couple days ago, to like 2 days ago, we hadn't seen snow that stuck around in Toronto for yeah, like I said, like 2 months. It's just been that kind of a crazy winter. It's been so much warmer than usual, and as a pilot, you'll notice this as well. The funny thing is, like, the jet stream is not the usual predominant feature it usually is. Um, Normally, the jet stream is just like you can depend on it to be most of the time 60, 80, 100 knots easily out of the west, and sometimes it peaks at 160 to 200 knots out of the west almost all the time across most of southern Canada. And this year, it's like it doesn't exist. Half the time you're going westbound and you're getting a tailwind as you're going west instead of a 100 knot, 150 knot headwind. So the weather patterns themselves have been very unorthodox this winter. Let me see if I can find a jet. Let's see if I can do this here. Yeah, we should be able to do this. But for the most part, I think just because it's been so warm that the polar jet stream has been farther north than usual, so it hasn't really affected southern Canada like it usually does. And I'm just trying to bring up weather telemetry here. Let's do this one. Even when the jet stream's there, it just doesn't seem to be as continuously strong as it normally would be. Have you got anything going on the ground in Moncton right now? Okay. All right, so now Moncton Tower's locking off. So now I'm going to take over Moncton here. So I'm going to make sure. Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah. Hey, Rob and chat. It's been way too warm here. Thank climate change. Yeah. My one worry for you in the UK especially is if the Gulf Stream does shut down. If the overall Gulf Stream shuts down, the UK is not going to be pretty. Because you could face it like over the next couple of decades, you could see a 5 to 10 degree average temperature drop over the whole year instead of going up because you lose all that warm water. Because you look at where Europe is, especially the UK, like it's what's the latitude up there? It's like 50 degrees. Like you're up there equivalent with like the northern parts of Newfoundland. So yeah, it let's see here. What was I gonna do? Yeah, so I was just gonna show you guys the wind barbs, and they're actually looking almost kind of normal right now. Um, this is the these are the jet streams right now shown on the Navigraph chart. So you can see there's like one kind of jet here, and then there's a second jet that kind of is coming in like this. And it's this more northern one that I think has been stuck mostly very far north all season. So like normally we get like a very predominant, like it generally goes west to east, and it varies, it fluctuates north and south. It definitely does. But in general, all winter long, you expect a fairly strong west to east wind kind of along the Canadian-US border. And that has just not existed this year the way it normally does. And even here, like you can see, like it's here for part of it, but here it doesn't exist at all. There's no wind to speak of here. And so if you were doing a flight even from Toronto to Vancouver, you'd get a headwind for maybe the first half, and it wouldn't be a strong headwind, and you might actually get a tailwind for a little bit of it. So it's just been a wacky winter weather-wise. All right, this guy's going down to Delancey. This guy's going much more westerly. This guy's going kind of southerly a little bit. But as long as Montreal's still here, we got a few handoffs anyways. Trying to get some traffic. I'm surprised I haven't really picked up any local traffic at all here. There's been some terminal controllers on that have been dealing with the local stuff.
Moncton Center, good afternoon, Voyager 791, 1,400, climbing 5,000 feet, runway heading.
Voyager 791, Moncton, hello, identified, climb 15,000.
Climb 5,000, Voyager 791.
Moncton Center, good afternoon. Itaro 618 with you, flight level 380, currently inbound Taffy. We're sorry, sir, we missed several calls from you.
Itaro 618, Moncton Center, hello, squawk code 3110.
And squawking 3110, Itaro 618 heavy.
Voyager 791, turn left, direct Halifax VOR on course.
Left direct Halifax VOR on course, Voyager 791.
Itaro 618, thank you, identified, flight level 380.
Roger, thank you, sir, and once again, we're very sorry for having missed your several calls.
No problem. Just don't be surprised if you get kicked off the network.
Mountain, good day. Protocol 247 goes heavy, flight level 380.
Air Portugal 247 Golf Heavy, Moncton, hello, squawk code 3153.
Squawk 3153, Protocol 247 goes heavy.
All right. All right. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I clicked on. I want Halifax ATIS. I know what the Moncton ATIS says. I want Halifax ATIS. Halifax ATIS, it is advertising 23. All right, and just what I was saying, we weren't getting any local traffic. Hey, look, we got a local traffic. Air Portugal 247 Golf, you're identified, flight level 380.
Thank you.
Got a lot of people crossing the pond, and that's what I figured too. Was I wasn't sure if I wanted to do Moncton today or not, but I figured if there's a day to do Moncton, it's a weekend, especially kind of mid-afternoon when everybody's coming across the pond. Thomas GT going to give you a bit of local traffic. Hey, all right. Thank you, sir. Don't make anything too long. I got about 90 minutes, and then I got to shut her down. An hour and 40 minutes. So don't make anything too long. If you want a real challenge, go to St. John's, where the ILSs are all offline. 1128 is closed. Let's actually have a look again, because I haven't looked at this now for... Let's see here. Oh. They finished clearing 1028 because now it's open again here. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's get St. John's and let's modify this. It was just updated 5 minutes ago, so now we're going to go and now they're doing 28. RSC is now 666, and the only unsurfaceable glide slope is on 16. All right. Alpha and St. John's now. All right, we fast forwarded that to match. Voyager 791. Halifax altimeter is, let's see here, 2954. Planned runway 23. We got information, Charlie.
Planning runway 23, and I'll pick up Charlie, Voyager 791 in 2993 on the altimeter.
And actually, no, Halifax is 2954, 2954.
Correction, 2954.
All right. Surprise boss has come online. They're usually so solid. It's surprising to see them. Nobody's logged on a weekend in Boston. Must be something going on down there today. It's baseball season yet? Maybe it's a baseball game? No? Celtics maybe? Surprising not to see them online for the whole afternoon. Gonna do Halifax Moncton. Oh, okay. There you go. That's good. That's a nice short one. You'll be able to get that done in no time. It's good. Good one to do. Yeah. So it looks like St. John's is better now. So St. John's earlier was. And how are the winds doing?
Walker 1942 heavy. You mind if we step out for 10?
Walker 1942. That's approved. Let me know when you're back, please.
We'll call back. Thanks.
Let's see, now it's 290, 25 gusting 34. Yeah, still pretty strong, down 29 more or less. But yeah, so 1028 was closed until about an hour ago, and the ILSs for 1028 were offline as well. So my guess is they were doing some snow removal on that runway, and that's why everything was shut off for that runway. But I was just thinking to myself, like with a gusty wind like that, you usually want to have the ILSs up and running. So I thought it was going to be interesting for anybody that tried to show up at St. John's, but nobody did. This is actually, for being a Saturday afternoon, this is the least amount of kind of local traffic I've seen populate the Moncton FIR when I've been online. Like, it usually takes a little while, but you usually get a couple guys that come in and start doing some departures and stuff. And the thing is, we've even had controllers online. We have a ground controller, a terminal controller. We had a Moncton tower controller, and then the tower controller did get a few circuits, but basically Voyager 791 is the first kind of local IFR flight that's departed and actually gone somewhere so far, which is just it's a little bit odd because usually people will show up and do these flights. There's a lot of East Coasters. They like to fly the East Coast. I don't blame them because it's fun. The airports are really not too far apart for the most part. You can do some pretty short flights. It was a bit surprising to me. And Voyager 791 Moncton, when ready, to send 10,000. Voyager 791 Moncton, when ready, to send 10,000. Or not. Whatever. Fine. Whatever. When he requests it, I'll be like, oh, I already gave it to you. You just weren't listening. Because I'm that kind of guy. I do have a fair number of airplanes in my airspace. It's just that not much happens with them. They're just all overflights. I do have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 airplanes in my airspace. That's not too bad. Voyager 791 Moncton. Do 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 do. Well, I'm not gonna wall up him yet. He knows where he's going. He knows he's got to start descending in, like, I would expect within the next 10 miles. He's probably gonna want to start down. I'm just trying to be preemptive, and that's the key to good center controlling, is being preemptive, being on top of things, asking for things before looking up information even before it becomes an issue. Anyways, I'm super excited about the Phoenix. I'm super excited about version 2 of the Phoenix. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be some really neat improvements that they obviously, part of it obviously stems from just a love of it, trying to make it as realistic a simulation as possible. Definitely you can see part of that in there. So
Moncton Center, Voyager 791.
Voyager 791 Moncton, when ready, descend 10,000. The Halifax altimeter 29054.
Roger, descend to 10,000 when ready in 29054. Sorry about that. I inadvertently swapped frequencies. I was just checking to see if I missed something, and apparently I did.
There it is. Okay, no problem.
Thank you, sir.
Voyager 791, you can contact the Halifax approach now on 119.2. Have yourself a great day.
Over to approach on 119.2, Voyager 791. Good day, sir.
All right, so I do have an inbound to Charlottetown, CYYG, which is an airport I am somewhat familiar with, but not super familiar with. So this is the kind of thing where you kind of want to look it up ahead of time and try and, this is an uncontrolled airport, so the pilot's going to pick what he wants to do, but I can make some educated guesses onto what he might want to do. And I'm thinking 21, RNF 21 with the winds 220 at 4, but he could also do the ILS 03. The winds are pretty light in Charlottetown. What's the 15 miles broke at 11,000? Not a problem. I'm gonna ping him in just a couple minutes here. All right, so the Speedbird's going this way. The Walker and the Clipper are starting to diverge a bit. Somebody's tuning up my frequency early, which is fine. Sorry, who are you calling? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can hear you again. Internet issues. All right, we got a few people approaching my airspace here. See, it's funny because like it looks like it's close. It's not. He's got 220 miles to go, so he's probably got another. He's probably got about another 75 miles before he wants to start his descent. But what's he on? Flight line wise, it should be Toxel, Dianol, Q9551, Akuro. Let's see here if I can find what I'm looking for.
Hello, Moncton, Tower 618 Heavy.
Itaro 618 Heavy, Moncton, go ahead.
Hello, Moncton, Tower 618 Heavy. We're now looking for flight level 400 if possible.
Itaro 618 Heavy, not a problem. Climb flight level 400.
Climbing to flight level 400 to 618 Heavy.
If somebody's calling Moncton Center there, it's carrier only. Try again.
Moncton Center, good evening, Rouge 1542 inbound, Daniel, flight level 370.
Rouge 1542, Moncton, hello, Squawk Cadet.
Squawk Cadet, 1540.
Rouge 1542, Moncton, thank you. You're identified flight level 370. I have the Charlottetown 2100 weather if you need to copy.
We are ready, Rouge 1540.
Rouge 1542, Charlottetown at 2100 Zulu. This is 33 minutes ago. Winds showing 240 magnetic at 4, 15 miles, broken at 1000. Temperature -4, dew point -12, and altimeter 2955. When able, say your approach plan for Charlottetown.
2955, stand by, we'll call you back in a minute or two about that.
Roger.
And Center Walker 1942, we're back.
Walker 1942, Moncton. Walker 1942, Moncton, go ahead.
Again for 1942?
Walker 1942, you calling Moncton?
Oh, just letting you know we're back.
Oh, okay, perfect. I got it. Thank you.
No worries.
Okay, I just didn't hear him say that part, so I was like, what? Okay, airways is too much. All right, anywho. All right, we got a bunch more. Bye-bye. Good time.
That's actually Lufthansa 461. Do we need to switch frequencies?
Lufthansa 461, nope. You stay on my frequency about another 25 minutes.
Roger. Never mind, because I saw a different frequency mixed up with yours.
Marked on Rouge 1540.
Rouge 1542, go ahead.
We are planning for runway 21 at Charlottetown because the other wind wasn't that bad and it's coming almost straight on north.
All right, which approach are you planning for runway 21?
We can go for the RNP Yankee 421.
Rouge 1542, roger. Proceed direct Libig, and when ready, descend flight level 290.
Direct Libig, and that's altitude again, roof 1540.
Rouge 1542 for now. When ready, descend flight level 290.
290, roof 1540.
You can tell all these light heavies for the oxymoron there, but all these heavies that have burned most of their gas because they're all cruising at 38s and 40s now. These guys. Are these guys going to diverge eventually? They're going to diverge after Presqu'île. When are they going to be closest here? Not for a long time. The 20 knot closure rate is never going to make a difference. All right, so who is this guy? Ping him now because I think he might be inbound to Halifax. I'd rather talk to him sooner than later. As well ping this guy as well. Hopefully he'll call me in the next couple minutes. Yeah, regardless, I was talking about it, I just completely forgot about it, but I am looking forward to the Phoenix. I'm looking forward to the next update of the Phoenix. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. What has really got me stoked is the 321. When that's going to be a day one purchase for me. I'm not a big day one go run out and get the newest thing kind of guy. I very, very rarely do I go down that road, but this is going to be one of those cases where I know it's something that I want, something I'm going to really enjoy.
Moncton Center, good afternoon. Lufthansa 3 Victor Alpha flight level 380.
Lufthansa 3 Victor Alpha, Moncton, hello, squawk code 3171.
3171 coming up, Lufthansa 3 Victor Alpha.
All right. Rouge 1542, continue descent 5,000. The Charlottetown altimeter again is 2955.
Say that one more time. I got broken up with the sound there.
Rouge 1542, descend 5,000, altimeter 2955.
5,000 and 2955, Rouge 1540.
And if somebody else is calling there, I think someone else is trying to call. It was carrier only. Try again.
And Moncton, Walker 1942, heavy looking for a sub climb at 360.
Walker 1942, that's approved. Climb flight level 360.
Flight level 360, Walker 1942, heavy thing.
Here's my Azores. Lufthansa 3 Victor Alpha. Lufthansa 3 Victor Alpha Heavy. You're identified at flight level 380. Welcome. Speedbird 7 Tango Golf is having connection issues.
November 230 Papa, I can hear you now. Squawk 3112.
November 3903 Sierra Papa, thank you very much. I hear you as well. 393 Sierra Papa, Moncton, thank you very much. Identified at flight level 410. Halifax information is Charlie, plan runway 23. When ready, descend flight level 290.
Roger, we have information Charlie on board, expect 23 and descending to 290, citation 3 Sierra Papa.
Moncton, hello, it's Aiden 273.
Azores 273 Moncton, hello, squawk code 3163.
3163, and what is your CPDLC log on?
Charlie Zulu Quebec Mike.
Roger.
All right, we're gonna get some CPDLC. Let me do this. If I do that, and then I do this, you guys should be able to see the message window, hopefully, if I've done this correctly. The messages should appear right above my head. That white box there.
Moncton, send us with you, flight level 420.
Azores 273, identified flight level 360. And the other call, who was that calling again?
Lufthansa 402.
Lufthansa 402, Moncton Center, hello. Squawk a code of 3113.
Squawk 3113, Lufthansa 402.
All right, so there is a message waiting for me in there. Request log on from Azores 273 and log on accepted. All right. It would help if I just typed just a tiny bit slower so I could actually do what I need to do. And November 393 Sierra Papa, as I look at it here, it looks like you're passing quite a bit south of Tusky there. Are you direct to Edgar?
Yeah, I was just about to call you. We're having some issues with my FMS. It's acting really funky and it's not letting me go direct to anywhere, really, so I'm unable to go direct to Tusky.
Okay, that's fine. You've already passed Tusky, so direct Edgar is approved. And November 393 Sierra Papa, descend 10, 10,000. The Halifax altimeter is 2954.
Down to 10,000, 2994 for the altimeter, and you said direct where again for 3 Sierra Papa?
November 393 Sierra Papa, direct Edgar, Echo Tango, Golf Alpha Romeo.
Can you scroll that out one more time for 3 Sierra Papa? I'm really sorry.
November 393 Sierra Papa should be the next fix on the arrival for you. Edgar, Echo, Tango, Golf Alpha Romeo.
Direct Edgar for 3 Sierra Papa.
Lufthansa 402 Heavy, identified at flight level 400. Welcome. And Lufthansa 402 Heavy, let's cut the corner a little bit. Proceed direct Nain. That's Yankee Delta Papa.
Proceed direct Yankee Delta Papa, Lufthansa 402.
Roger. Now it seems like we got some stuff coming in here that might be a bunch of guys going into Halifax. Took a little while, but what have we got now time-wise? Yeah, I got about an hour and 15 minutes. me get one more here. PBR. What's PBR? Polar bear. Polar bear. Oh, great call sign for this time of year. Polar bear. Still haven't lured anybody in St. John's yet, though. I feel like I'm not going to. That guy's Moncton. All right, we got some inbounds, though.
Moncton Centre, good evening, Polar Bear 427, descending through 13,800 for 10,000.
Polar Bear 427, Moncton. Hello, Moncton Atis. Oh, we never put another one back up there. Actually, no, we should have one up there. Moncton Atis, what have we got? It should be information alpha. And runway 24, when able to say your planned approach request.
We have Alpha on board, and yeah, if we could take the RNAV Zulu runway 24 Membu transition, that'd be great if available, Polar Bear 427.
And Polar Bear 427, Moncton, proceed direct Memvu. You can plan on that. Descend 3,000.
Direct Membu and descend 3,000, Polar Bear 427, thanks. All right, now it's starting to get interesting. Now we're starting to get quite a lot of airplanes going on here. This is quite a long list. It's not terrible because it's mostly overflight, so it's not a lot of workload, but it's getting to that point where you're starting to say, like, this is a fair number of airplanes. I'm not going to be able to keep up with it all that much longer. If I get a whole bunch more airplanes, we might have problems. But we'll do our best.
Moncton, good evening. Skyways 103 Heavy, flight level 390 inbound Lomsey.
Skyways 103, Moncton, hello. Squawk code of 3152.
3152, Skyways 103.
November 393, Sierra Papa. Contact Halifax arrival 119.2.
19-2 for Tree Surf Hop 2.
Take care. Skyways 103 Heavy, you're identified flight level 390. For a westbound domestic flight, you require an even level. Do you want to go up to 400 or down to 380?
We would like to take flight level 400, Skyways 103.
Skyways 103 Heavy, that's approved. Climb flight level 400.
Climb flight level 400, Skyways 103.
And error is 273 is CPDLC fail, reverting to voice.
And Azores 273, okay, you can resort to voice for now. Feel free to try it again. It looked like a successful log on my end, so if it failed, I honestly don't know too much.
That's probably a client issue. I'm just going to restart, close my task manager. We'll give it 10 minutes, then we'll reconnect for Azores 273.
Roger. Let me know if you need more help. I'm not too familiar with the technical side of it, but I can certainly try and accommodate whatever I can do.
Cheers, appreciate it.
Moncton Center, Delta 30 Heavy at flight level 356, climbing flight level 370.
Delta 30 Heavy, Moncton, hello, squawk ident. Delta 30 Heavy, thank you. You're identified at 360, continue climb, flight level 370.
Continue climb, flight level 370, Delta 30 Heavy.
Actually going to have to give a landing clearance for the first time in this stream, and I've been streaming for almost 2 hours now. So that's a little unusual anyways. They usually get at least a couple guys. Part of it, I think, is just I've had these approach controllers that I don't want to use the word stolen. Stolen's not the right word, but they've diverted some of the traffic from me. But that's fine. I don't mind that. But it's just it's surprising. Yeah, this guy is actually catching up here. Oh, who's this guy? This guy is not even here. Itaro 618, Moncton traffic at your 12 o'clock just appeared on the network. He's pretty much 12 o'clock, same direction, about 10 miles, same level, 400. Not talking to him.
Hello, Moncton. We have the traffic and the chemtrail in sight. Italo 618 Heavy.
Itaro 618 Heavy, roger. Right now I'm showing him grounding about 20 knots faster than you, so the speed should increase. Excuse me, the separation should increase, but keep an eye on him.
Copy that. Let us know if you want us to change heading or altitude. Italo 618.
Center, hello, Virgin 25 Bravo, apologies for connecting out of nowhere, and final 400.
Virgin 25 Bravo, Moncton, hello, squawk code 3162.
Roger, squawking 3160, Virgin 25 Bravo.
Polar Bear 427, Moncton, you're cleared Moncton Airport, RNAV Zulu, runway 24, Memvu transition.
Cleared RNAV Zulu, runway 24, Moncton Airport, Memvu transition, Polar Bear 47, thanks.
Virgin 25 Bravo Heavy, thanks. You're identified at flight level 400. Proceed direct Fryer and maintain present speed or faster. You spawned in about 10 miles in front of traffic at the same level.
Roger, we're direct to Fryer and we'll maintain, we're currently mark 85, we'll keep that for now, Virgin 25 Bravo.
25 Bravo, no problem, just as long as you don't slow down, it works for me.
Yeah, we'll not slow down, or don't worry, Virgin 25 Bravo.
Rouge 1542, descend 3000. You're cleared Charlottetown Airport, RNAV Yankee runway 21, Liebig transition.
3000 and cleared Charlottetown RNAV Yankee 21 Liebig transition. Rouge 1542.
Roger. Hoi. Now I got to listen to that siren going off now. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Center, Clipper 55, request.
Clipper 55, go ahead.
Yes, Center, Clipper 55, request 5 minutes out of cockpit to nuke some lunch.
Clipper 55, that's approved. Let me know when you're back.
We'll go.
Nuking some lunch, eh? Where does he live? It's getting late for lunch even where I am. And I'm on the West Coast. Or he's just very late to lunch, which is also very possible. All right, is this? Nope, that's St. John's still. Still gusty in St. John's. Show me the Moncton winds. There we go. Speedbird 7 Tango Golf Heavy, Moncton. You're about to leave my airspace to the west, and Boston's not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
And frequency terminated for Speedway 7 Tango Golf, factory ATC this evening.
I'll try and send this guy to Montreal, even though oh, he took him. Lufthansa 4 Juliet, contact Montreal Center now, 128.77. Good day.
Montreal Center 128.77. Thank you. Bye-bye, Lufthansa 4 Juliet.
Take care. Air Portugal 247 Golf Heavy, squawk a new code 3144.
New squawk 3144, Portugal 247 Golf Heavy.
Rouge 1542, no further traffic observed or reported between you and Charlottetown. You can switch to Unicom now for the arrivals. Give me a call this frequency down and clear to close your flight plan.
Thanks for that. 128 and call you back when on ground at Charlottetown, 1540.
Thank you.
Virgin 25 Bravo, sorry, I've accidentally changed the frequency. Did you call me or anything?
Virgin 25 Bravo negative, but you are actually just leaving my airspace now to the west, so you can switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good rest of the day. The traffic is still behind you about 10 miles or 6 o'clock. You guys are now diverging as well by about 20 degrees, so shouldn't be a conflict.
Ordinaries, we'll keep the high speed as well, and the Unicom Virgin 25 Bravo, bye-bye.
Take care. Itaro 618, same for you. Just about to leave my airspace to the west, and the Boston Center's not online. Switch to the on frequency. Surveillance service terminates. As you probably saw in the TCAS, traffic off to your 11 o'clock for 10 miles is now slightly diverging and is maintaining still a faster speed than you.
And a copy that now switching back to Unicom on, and thank you for the traffic information. It's out of 618, wonderful service again, and have a very good weekend, sir.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Lufthansa 461 Heavy, you're about to leave my airspace to the east. The oceanic sector is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
We're going to Unicom. Thanks for the service. I hope you have an amazing day. Bye-bye.
Take care. Air Canada 295, are you here yet? I'll give him another minute or two before I ping him. It's not bad for a weekend. I mean a weekend should be busy, but it's not bad for Moncton Center too. Like Moncton Center sometimes can be very quiet, can be surprisingly, shockingly quiet. Who's this guy and what are you doing? Besides trying to run over my airplanes.
All good, set there, JetBlue 44, JetBlue 44, waiting flight level 380.
JetBlue 44 Moncton, hello, squawk code 3105.
3105, JetBlue 44.
JetBlue 44, thank you very much. Identified flight level 380. All right, lots of stuff. I'm kind of scanning constantly just to see what's going on because there is so much going on here. He's on the base, looking good. As soon as he turns final, I'll give him that landing clearance. What's Polar Bear flying? Anyways, I didn't even look what Polar Bear's flying. He's at King Air 350.
Sir, Clipper 55, we're back.
Clipper 55, thank you. What did you bring us?
Nothing too special.
All right. Get a little chuckle from a few of my pilots at least here, hopefully. All right.
Moncton Center, good evening. Air Canada 295 at flight level 350, 20 miles, correction, 15 miles west of Dano.
Air Canada 295 Moncton, squawk ahead. Air Canada 295, thank you very much. You're identified at flight level 350. The information in Moncton is Alpha, runway 24,
When ready, descend flight level 290.
Information, Alpha and Moncton will ready descend flight level 290, and we would like to request the RNAV Zulu for runway 24, please, Air Canada 25.
Air Canada 295, you can plan on that.
Sure, Air Canada 25.
Polar Bear 427, winds 280 at 11, clear to land, runway 24.
Clear to land, runway 24, Polar Bear 47.
All right, we got a second CPDLC, 3 Victor Alpha. Put those little tags there, CPDLC, so I remember who's CPDLC qualified and who isn't. All right, he's just about down. Overflight. I have a feeling this is on. This is the Wiz. It's not Encore. I thought for a second it was Encore, but it looks like it's a Wizz Air. Here's Azores going to Boston. Got another inbound here. Slow but steady, relentless march of these guys across my airspace. All right, one more hour. So at the rate they're going, Skyways will just about clear my airspace to the west. That'll be about the time I log off. So anyone who logs on at this of the eastern boundary, pretty much from here on out, will probably be turfed to Unicom before they reach this airspace boundary. Because that 2300 Zulu log off time, that's pretty solid. I don't have much wiggle room on that, to be honest. All right, he didn't make it to Nain yet. Nain is right at the boundary of the landfall there, more or less, but it's fine.
Moncton Center, Finnair 7 with you, sir. Flight level 360.
Finnair 7, Moncton, hello, squawk code 3142.
3142 for Finnair 7.
Montreal Center was showing as a potential log off, but he's not anymore, which is cool. Cool. I'm happy to see continuous service because I got a bunch of handoffs for him eventually. I would like to see them not get turfed to Unicom. I hate turfing people to Unicom. I really do. I would much rather, on almost any circumstances, try and keep people on my frequency or get them to the next frequency.
Can I get a radio check for JetBlue 44?
JetBlue 44, I read you 5.
Thank you, JetBlue 44.
Air Canada 295, continue descent 10,000. The Moncton altimeter is 2953.
Continue descent 10,000, Air Canada 295.
Air Canada 295, when you're able, proceed direct DUTIC for the RNAV Zulu 24.
Direct DUTIC when able, Air Canada 295.
Polar Bear 427, welcome to Moncton. Are you parking on the south side?
South side is for Polar Bear 47.
Polar Bear 427, turn left Delta, cross runway 29er Charlie to the apron.
Okay, well, left on Delta, cross 29 Charlie apron. Thanks very much to ADC. Appreciate it. It's Polar Bear 47.
Thank you for the traffic. All right, Rouge is about to touch down. Whoever this guy is should be calling me by now. Whoever this guy is should be calling me right about now. And this is Finnair 7. Finnair 7, Moncton Center, you're identified at flight level 360.
Roger, Finnair 7.
Finnair 7, you can go direct Lompy at this time.
Direct Lompy, Finnair 7.
Moncton Center, good evening. Condor 1 Charlie Heavy inbound Lumsey, flight level 400.
Condor 1 Charlie Heavy, Moncton, hello. Squawk code 3145.
Squawk 3145, Condor 1 Charlie Heavy.
Roger. All right, yep, that was correct. All right. It really requires like constant scanning to make sure you do get all these things done here because there's just so much going on. Condor 1 Charlie Moncton, thank you very much. You're identified at flight level 400. There he goes, turning final in Charlottetown. Polar bear's already down. Maybe he'll fly the reverse route. Hint, 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 hint. It's up to you. Totally up to you. But why not? I do love to see that, though. I love to see when an airplane gets turned around and flies again out the other way. I really do. I always think that's just super neat and realistic is when you see the airplane on the ground and then they sit there for 15, 20 minutes or whatever, and then they turn around and they take off again in the other direction and go back. And I always love that. KLM 496 Heavy, Moncton, you're leaving my airspace to the west. Boston Center's not online. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Thank you for service. Have an amazing weekend and good evening, KLM 496.
Take care. It's all my fault. Sure. I can't help it. I just like to play with things. Okay. Or less. Okay, so we do have 360s, but they're diverging slightly. This guy's going to continue more left turning, I think. This guy's going off much more westerly. We've got 40s here and here. We got 38s here and here. We got 38 here. He might cross the Lufthansa. Oh, yeah. He's got to be way out past Toronto before they cross, so not a problem for me. This guy's just going to Boston. All right. This guy. Who's this guy? Why has he not called me yet? Come on, guy. I get annoyed. I do. It's because I feel like this is probably this guy with their 899. He's inbound to Halifax. So he's only got like 100 miles to go. Like he should be starting to think about descending. And so he should be talking to me for that descent. There's definitely a lot of scanning though in center. Just trying to make sure I'm taking all this information. We got lots of people kind of sneaking up in here. Lots of transatlantic traffic still. It's a pity there isn't an oceanic sector today because there's lots of transatlantic traffic. Although
Moncton Center, good evening. American 458 at level 16,500.
American 458, climb flight level 280. If you're not already, direct Alex.
I'm flight level 280 and fly direct Alex, American 458.
I also have a conflict now with a westbound flight that wants to go roughly the same way this guy's going. You got these two guys who are flying towards Halifax at the same time, at the same altitude. At least one of them's going faster. Not my problem yet. Will be in a minute.
Air Canada 295, descend 6,000.
69er is with you. Flight level 260 on the Fundy 5, ILS runway 23, with information Charlie.
Is that Wiz 869er calling? The call sign was blocked.
Roger that, 869er, Wizz Air.
Wizz Air 869er, squawk ident. And Wizz Air 869er actually looking at you here. I need a new code, squawk 3121.
3121 for Wizz Air 869er.
Wizz Air 869er, thank you. Identified. Information in Halifax is Charlie. It is runway 23. When ready, descend 10,000. Altimeter is 2954.
2954 on the altimeter, pilot's discretion to wind 0,000. And at this time we are leaving flight level 260.
Roger. I think it's going to be okay because he's going to reach that crossing point soon.
Moncton Center, Rouge 1540.
Rouge, sorry, was that Rouge 1542?
Hey, firm, on ground, Charlottetown, time 2212, Zulu, would like a close-off flight plan.
Rouge 1542, thank you very much. Flight plan is closed at 2212 Zulu. Alerting services are terminated. Have yourself a great rest of the night.
Same to you. Bye-bye.
Take care.
American 458, do you mind if we step out for 5 minutes?
American 458, I'm going to have to defer that request for a couple of minutes. I've just got an inbound traffic. I've got to make sure you're past him before I can release you.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'll let you know as soon as I can. Okay, just about past the same altitude. Once I got the 1,000-foot separation, I'll let him go.
And Center for Air Canada 295, I think you were trying to call us before talking to Wizz Air.
Air Canada 295, yes, sorry about that. Continue descent 6,000, thank you.
Continue descent 6,000, Air Canada 295, thank you.
Yeah, obviously too much going on, and you get one little distraction, and it takes you right out of the loop. American 458, continue climb flight level 360. You're above the traffic now, should not be a factor, so you can step away. Let me know when you're back.
Climb flight 360 and I'll let you know when I'm back.
Thank you. All right, guys just texting me. So the one guy said it's only his third flight on VATSIM, so he's just asking what to do when he gets to his destination, if I'm going to continue to control it when he gets there since there's nobody else online. And the answer, of course, is no, I am not, because his destination is definitely not in my airspace. I have enough time keeping track of all the airplanes that are in my airspace here. And for the next 45 minutes, wow, we got a lot of planes just about to make landfall here, including two guys here at 380 that are going to probably trigger my
audio warnings again. All right, I'll send him over to the terminal now. At least I've had some fellow controllers online to transfer people to. Wizz Air 869er, contact Halifax terminal now on 119.2. Good day.
119.2. Wizz Air 869. So long.
Ready to head back to Halifax. Ah, excellent. I love it. I just love the round trips. I just love when an airplane lands and then like it sits there for, you know, half an hour, turnaround, whatever, gets refueled, and then departs again. I love that. Like instead of having just random airplanes spawning and disappearing and spawning and disappearing, I love it when an airplane stays connected to the network and kind of represents continuity. That to me is always super neat. I love continuity in this hobby, and I'm always kind of striving for it. I always love the airplanes that allow that. So like PMDG has always kind of pushed continuity on their airplanes. When you when your airplane burns oil, when the oil gets burned in your PMDG 737, the next time you sit down in it, there's less oil in it than there was the time before because you burned that oil, and it keeps track of it, and you have to eventually put oil in the airplane or you will run out of oil. And I love those kind of continuity things. I love what Phoenix is talking about now with the 320, with, you know, things like if you don't, and just watch out, somebody's clicking the mic button there. If you don't constantly, if you get a compressor stall, so they're going to be simulating compressor stalls. If you have a strong crosswind, you get a compressor stall.
Moncton Center, Delta 4 Alpha Heavy, flight level 40, 136 miles from Mumsy.
Delta 4 Alpha Heavy, Moncton, hello, squawk code 3104.
3104 going in the box, Delta 4 Alpha Heavy.
Nice for someone to call me ahead of time. I love it. But yeah, the whole idea that like...
Moncton Center, good evening. United 988, flight level 400.
United 988. Let's see here. I don't see on my list, but let me make my list bigger. United 988. I don't see anything for you. Is it possible you don't have a flight plan on file?
$988. I did file. I'll refile.
Yeah, I hit refile. It may have gotten lost somewhere along the way. Delta 4 Alpha Heavy. You're identified at flight level 400. Welcome.
Roger, 4 Alpha Heavy. Welcome. Thank you.
Moncton Centre, hello again. Polar Bear 427, Information Alpha, requesting IFR clearance back to Halifax.
Polar Bear 427, stand by. Let me just pull up your flight plan here because it's not coming up automatically for some reason. There it is. All right. All right, Polar Bear 427. Before I give you the clearance here, the winds in Moncton won't load for me. The winds in Moncton right now are showing 288.11. Do you want to make departure off of runway 29er to make it easy?
Yeah, we'll take runway 29 for Polar Bear 47. Thanks.
All right, Polar Bear 427. You're cleared to Halifax via the Moncton 5 departure. Vectors to your flight plan route. Depart runway 29er, squawk code 3134.
Okay, clear to Halifax on the Moncton 5 departure. Vectors after that, and then runway 29er, squawk 3134, Polar Bear 47.
Polar Bear 427, the readback is correct. Information in Moncton is Bravo. Call me when you're ready for taxi.
We have information Bravo on board, and we'll call for taxi. Thanks, Polar Bear 47.
Air Canada 295, descend 3000 at Dutik, cleared Moncton Airport, RNAV Zulu, runway 24.
Descend 3000 and at Dutik, clear for the approach, RNAV Zulu, runway 24. Air Canada is on departure.
Speedbird 6 November Charlie, you're just leaving my airspace to the west. Boston Center's not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
Speedbird 6 November Charlie, Moncton.
Go ahead, please. Speedbird 6 November Charlie.
Speedbird 6 November Charlie, you're leaving my airspace to the west. Boston Center's not online. Switch to the on-road frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Okay, switching to our route. Speedbird 6 November Charlie. See you.
Take care. United 988, I've got your flight plan now. Squawk code 3170.
3170, United 988.
It's nice that most of these guys are calling me when they hit the boundary without me having to prompt them. I always love that. WestJet 250, Moncton, are you here? No, not yet.
Yeah. Sorry, was that for WestJet 250?
Oh yes, WestJet 250, just trying to see if you're here. Squawk ident, please, and confirm the altitude.
Okay, squawk ident, and we're at 370.
WestJet 250 Moncton, thank you very much. You're identified at flight level 370. Let's see here. For traffic, descend now flight level 350.
350 out of 370 for WestJet 250.
United 988 Heavy, you're identified flight level 400. Welcome. WestJet 250, thanks. Information in Halifax is Delta, runway 23 for arrival. Best forward speed for traffic, please. WestJet 250 Moncton, the information in Halifax is Delta, runway 23 for arrival. Best forward speed, and you can descend when ready to flight level 290.
Okay, descend when ready, 290, and best forward speed, and we'll go ahead and get Delta and understand runway 23 for WestJet 250.
Air Canada 171, are you here? Nope, guess not. Okay, he should be just about turning final.
Moncton Centre, Polar Bear 427, we're ready for taxi.
Polar Bear 427 Moncton, thank you. Runway 29er, information Bravo, altimeter 29er52. Taxi apron, your discretion. Alpha, hold short and advise ready.
Okay, we've got information Bravo on board, and we'll taxi apron Alpha, hold short 29 and advise when ready for departure. Polar Bear 47.
Clipper 55 Heavy Moncton, you're about to leave my airspace to the west, and the Montreal Center's gone offline now. Switch to the on-road frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
Right, over to you, Clipper 55 Heavy. Thanks so much. We'll see you.
Take care. Walker 1942 Heavy, same for you. You're just about to leave my airspace to the west. Montreal's not online. Switch to the on-road frequency, and surveillance service terminates.
Alright, we'll switch to Unicom. Walker 1942 Heavy. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a great one.
Thanks. Fly safe. Air Canada 171, you here?
Moncton Center, Canada 171 with you.
Air Canada 171, confirm the flight level. Squawk ident.
Air Canada 171, we're flight level 370. Squawking ident, and we're Mach decimal 76 right now.
Air Canada 171, thank you very much. Identified flight level 370. Reduce more to Mach decimal 74 for spacing Halifax. Halifax information is Delta, runway 23.
We got Delta, expect 23, and reducing to Mach decimal 74, Canada 171.
All right, so the one guy who is new, he's happy to have someone to talk to. It sounds like they know what they're doing, and he's pretty grateful. And I try to help people whenever I can. Whenever I think I have the ability to help people, I do my best.
Moncton Center, WestJet 250 request.
WestJet 250 Moncton, go ahead.
Yeah, say again, altitude restriction on that descent.
WestJet 250, I was just going to give you lower actually. To continue descent 10,000, Halifax altimeter is 2954.
10,000, 2954 on the altimeter, WestJet 250.
Air Canada 171, descend flight level 290.
Descent flight level 290, Air Canada 171.
Moncton Centre, Polar Bear 427, holding short runway 29, ready for departure.
Polar Bear 427 Moncton, immediate take, let me do this. Contact me once you're airborne. The wind's 280 at 9er. You're cleared immediate takeoff, runway 29er, traffic 6 mile final 24.
Okay, I'll contact you when airborne, immediate takeoff, runway 29, Polar Bear 47.
Air Canada 295, continue, approach, 1 departing on the intersecting runway. The winds are 280 at 9er.
Continue approach 24, Air Canada 294. 295.
Air Canada 295, clear to land, runway 24.
Clear to land 24, Air Canada 295.
Cutting it nice and close. It wasn't really that close. Close enough that, like, you know, I was not concerned. I knew I had to pay attention.
Moncton Centre, Polar Bear 427, passing 1,700.
Polar Bear 427 Moncton, thank you very much. Identified, climb 11,000.
Climb 1,000, Polar Bear 47.
Air Canada 171, transition speed 270 knots or less.
270 or less for Canada 171.
That's about as close as I'd like to cut it. It's the other thing too is like when you're dealing with center, you're dealing with such a large macro level that like small things like that, they quickly make you nervous. It quickly feels like you're cutting things way closer than they need to be cut. And last call for Moncton was carrier only. Try it again.
Moncton JetBlue 1408, just north of Chandler, flight level 360.
First, Polar Bear 427, turn left direct Locree.
Left direct Locree, Polar Bear 47.
JetBlue 1408, squawk code 3114.
3114, JetBlue 1408.
American 458, are you back? No, maybe not. Okay, fine. That's fine.
Moncton Center, Lufthansa 3 Victor, 40 miles northeast of Hoist, flight level 380.
Lufthansa 3 Victor, Moncton, hello, squawk code 3164.
3164, Lufthansa 3 Victor.
Air Canada 171, descend 10,000, the Halifax altimeter 2954.
2954, descend 10,000, Air Canada 171.
Things are about to get busy for the Halifax terminal controller here. Lufthansa 3 Victor Heavy, identified, flight level 380, welcome. JetBlue JetBlue 1408, you're identified, flight level 360.
Did you check? Could we stop waiting for 5 minutes for 49?
I find the one thing that sometimes works is if you're in the pause menu, sometimes it works. Yeah, and not sometimes, not all the time. It's a shitty.
Moncton, Portugal 247 Golf Heavy.
Air Portugal 247 Golf Heavy, go ahead.
Just wanted a quick radio check. I was briefly disconnected from the system.
Yep, still got you loud and clear. Air Portugal 247 Golf.
Thank you, Portugal 247 Golf Heavy.
Air Canada 295, you can go ahead and taxi Foxtrot into the apron, your discretion. Correction, Echo into the apron, your discretion. Have a great day.
Echo the apron at our discretion. Thank you very much. Air Canada 295.
And Polar Bear 427 Moncton, I show you about 400 feet high. I'm showing 11,400. Moncton altimeter is 2952. Could be a sim issue.
Yeah, we have the altimeter at 2952 and showing 11,000 on our altitude, Polar Bear 47.
Very good. You're the second one today to show the same thing, so I'm assuming it's a sim issue. American 458 Moncton. WestJet 250, contact the Halifax approach now, 119.2. Have a good day.
119.2 for WestJet 250, thanks.
Polar Bear 427, Halifax information is Delta, still runway 23.
Okay, we've got information Delta on board and expect runway 23 for Polar Bear 427. We'd like the Arnav Zulu approach to transition if possible for...
Centre, hello, listen to 442, flight over 380 inbound hoist.
Polar Bear 427, you can make that request with the terminal controller. I'll have you over to them in about 6 or 7 minutes.
Roger, we'll do that. Okay, thanks, Polar Bear 427.
And sorry, who was the Lufthansa calling?
So the 442, flight over 380 inbound hoist.
Lufthansa 442 Moncton, hello, squawk code 3177.
Squawk 3177, listen to 442.
This might cause another screaming alarm again. Lufthansa 442 Heavy, you're identified at flight level 380, thank you. Lufthansa 3 Victor Heavy, what's your Mach number in cruise?
0.85, Lufthansa 3 Victor.
Lufthansa 3 Victor Heavy, roger. Maintain Mach decimal 85 or faster for in-trail sequence.
Roger, yeah, we'll try and kick it up to 86 here, Lufthansa 3 Victor.
And Lufthansa 442 Victor, maintain Mach decimal 85 or less for sequence Detroit.
Yeah, speed Mach point 85 or less from the 442.
Air Canada 171, contact the Halifax terminal now, 119.2. Have a good day.
Switching terminal 119.2, Air Canada 171, good day.
All right. What time is it now? 22:36. So about...
Listen, the 442, can we get a step climb to flight level 400 at hoist?
Lufthansa 442, that is approved. Climb flight level 400.
Yeah, we'll climb to flight level 400 at hoist, listen, the 442.
That's fine. The Overflight King. Seen like 50 airplanes. I've cleared 2 to land. 50 airplanes. 2 to land. A third one cleared off to the Unicom for an uncontrolled landing. That's the way Moncton is. Some of these sectors, that's just the way they are. Sometimes there's not a whole lot going on in your neck of the woods. I do get jealous of Boston sometimes, just the traffic, and I've thought about that in the past. Like, which sectors would I want to control in VAT USA? If I was to join VAT USA or guest anywhere, if I was to just sort of pick one on a lark, Boston would be top of my list just because they have such a good reputation. They have such good traffic levels. I know I could do it. Steady traffic today. Yes, it's been very steady. I have to say that. Like, it certainly has not faded away. Some days you do the stream and it's like it starts out busy or it gets busy in the middle and then it just fades away to nearly nothing. And I tend to pull the plug on the stream just because there's literally nothing going on. Definitely not the case today. There's plenty of traffic today. Just a matter of most of it is pretty hands off. I make three transmissions right about here when they enter the airspace, and then I make another 1 or 2 transmissions down at this end, and that's it. All right, I'm going to drop American 458 now because if I don't do it now, I'm going to forget, and he's going to wander off somewhere and still be tracked by me. Looks like the Halifax approach controllers got their work cut out for them for the next few minutes here, though. We got 2 aircraft.
Evening, Air Canada 859 with you, flight level 360, 25 back a hoist.
Air Canada 859 of Vancouver. Air Canada 859 Moncton. Hello. Don't know where that Vancouver came from. Squawk code 3175.
3175, Air Canada 859, and thought I was lost there for a second.
Wrong coast. Polar Bear 427. You can contact the Halifax terminal now, 119.2. Have a good day.
Over to terminal 119.2. Thanks for the ATC, Polar Bear 47.
Thank you so much. Wrong coast. Alaska. Air Canada 859er. You're identified flight level 360. Hello. Oh my gosh.
Good evening, and Air Canada 859. Anyway, we could step flight level 380.
Air Canada 359er. That's approved. Climb flight level 380.
I'm climbing flight level 380, Air Canada 859.
Oh, Delta 50 has figured me out here. Where's Delta 50 again? Delta 50 is... This is Delta 30. Where's Delta 50? I don't have a Delta 50. Is this not the... Is that not the right guy? DAL. I don't have a Delta 50. I've turned them down because I don't know. I don't have a Delta 50. Let me just check here. Flights. I'm going right to VATSIM. I have a Delta 30, and that's what kind of suckered me in there. I was like, oh, I have him, but that's not him. Delta 50. Show on map. Delta 50 is Salt Lake City to London Heathrow, and he is like back over here somewhere. So for now, I'm going to reject his login. Not to be a I go unable to airspace because you're not in my airspace. All right. He's climbing to 380. That's fine because he's got a little bit of space on these guys. These guys are kind of going more southerly. These guys are going to keep going north. This might be the last guy I ping today. This might be the last guy. And flashed by flash. Hello from Condor 1 Charlie. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the stream. It's lots of stuff going on, but nothing really terribly exciting. So I'm just going to go check on something here because I just want to see something. Just want to see something here. So do that. Authenticating me so I can actually get some information. Because I don't think there's a descent requirement for Boston, is there?
JetBlue 44 request permission to leave the cockpit for 15 minutes.
JetBlue 44, that's approved. Let me know when you're back.
Roger, we'll report back for JetBlue 44.
All right. What was I looking up here? So what is he filed on? He's filed by the ocean. Tusky Euro Ocean 5 is approved. Alex Kennebunk Ocean, Taffy AJ Ocean. All right, yeah, so no, we don't give him a descent. I didn't think we did. How far is the boundary to Boston? It's not that far. Well, it is like... It's like right here. So from the boundary to Boston, it's like, yeah, it's about 160 miles. It's like, yeah, you don't need them started down, but they will need to start down shortly after they cross your boundary. All right, I think we've handled most of what we're going to handle. I think at this point we're just kind of watching these overflights cycle through. Everybody's fairly safely separated. Nobody's causing imminent bodily harm. Tama GT, you're welcome. Thank you so much for flying in and giving me something to do, something more than just looking at the overflights, an actual approach and a landing and back out again, a departure and a turn on course. I mean, it was the most exciting flying in the world, but I appreciate that because it gave me something a little bit more exciting. It's been a bit of a rut now. It's been a little bit of a rut now trying to get through these, but that's just the way it is. Sometimes Moncton is a big overflight sector, so there's lots of airplanes in my airspace. None of them need any attention at present. They just keep on trucking. But it certainly does. Use up the vocal cords, and yeah. Need to keep having water all throughout this, or my voice will fail. And even my brain, I think, is starting to fail. I called Air Canada Alaska. I said Vancouver. I said as far as Vancouver before. I was like, nope, wait, Moncton. So I think that's a sign that not my attentiveness, but just I think my abilities. Like definitely without a break, a 3-hour shift is definitely all you can handle. And in the real world, that's all controllers do.
Moncton Center United 52 Heavy, flight level 340.
United 52 Heavy, Moncton, hello, squawk code 3125.
3125, United 52 Heavy.
JetBlue 1408, you're leaving my airspace to the west. The Boston Center is not online. Switch to the honorary frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Right, thanks, JetBlue 1408, suit.
Take care. This will be the last guy that enters domestic airspace and actually gets some ATC, at least for a little while, unless, yeah, I don't think anybody else here is. No. United 52 Heavy, thank you very much. Identified, flight level 340. Even this guy inbound to Halifax, yeah, he's not going to enter my airspace until 5 minutes after the next hour, and I am going to be out here pretty promptly at 5 after here. It's in the LOA too. Why I have behind your name. You know what? And I never even noticed that, but that is because you did not specify in your flight plan. So Condor 1 Charlie was asking why he has a question mark here after the call sign. And the reason is because in your flight plan, you never specified whether you were voice capable or not. So in the remarks section of your, oh, you did actually. So it should have registered it, but for some reason it didn't. But that's what the question mark indicates, is that it does not know that you're voice capable. It could be that the remarks section is too long, and so it's not making it all the way through there, because there's a lot of stuff in there. It's all your PBN, it's all of your different FIR entry times. I wonder if we delete a little bit of this here, because you've already crossed through all of these, so I'm just going to delete about the first half there and save it, see what happens. See if it finds your voice capability then. No, maybe not. Text. Voice. Oh, no, it's not. That's not what it is. Sorry, it's because your aircraft type. No, heavy, A330. I'm not sure why it's there, in all honesty. Yeah. I don't know why it's sitting there, because for A330, I'm not sure why it is. It's not actually your voice status. It's your aircraft wake turbulence category status. So light, medium, heavy, super. So anything that's light will show up as a minus. I don't have any lights right now. Anything that's medium just gets nothing. Any heavies get a plus, and any of the supers, if you ever do a super, it becomes a star on our scope. So that's how we very quickly determine. So most of these are heavy aircraft. Heavy, 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 heavy. Heavy, 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 heavy. Medium, medium, medium. I'm sorry. This is there. Yeah, there's a small PBR 427, Polar Bear 427, King Air 350. It's a light. You should be showing up as a heavy, as a 330, but it's maybe a 330 is not an acceptable type code. A330 might actually be technically no. That's why, because A330 is not technically a type code. So there you go. You learn something new every day. So what I did was I pulled it up out of Wikipedia here. So let me hold on 1 second. Let me just show you here. Because a great learning moment here. Okay, so list of aircraft type designators. So if you go down to the A330 series of aircraft, you have to put you can't put A330. You have to put the actual 4-letter ICAO identifier. So if it's a 330-200, it's A332, 300, 333. If it was a 700 Beluga, A337, or the 800 or 900 series, so whatever series you actually have, that's what you actually put in there. You can't put in A330. It has to be A330. Most likely, I would guess A333 or A332. So if you change your flight plan to do that, I don't know which one you've got. But if you change your flight plan to that, that's why. Don't worry about disconnecting and to fix it, because I can fix it. I should be able to do this. A33. If I just even do 332 without even knowing, there you go. That got rid of it. So it's because the type code was not correct, and so that's why it was the plus was actually missing. So there you go. I put you down as a 33200. Really, at the end of the day, 33200, 300 is not going to make too much of a difference from our performance perspective. Oh, sorry, I didn't switch that back. So let me switch that back now. So I switched that back. So now if you look next to your name, now you've got the plus for the heavy aircraft. Attention all aircraft. Moncton Center will be closing in 10 minutes. Oh, who's this guy? This guy's a Shamrock flying at 13,000 to Dublin. All right. I really wonder what pilots do over the Atlantic. That's an excellent question. Talking is probably the #1 answer. It's amazing how long, as a pilot, one of the biggest skills you become very adept at after years in the industry is small talk. And it can be about anything and everything. So you start off with certain topics and you always kind of hit up on the same topics. You know, you got any kids at home? You know, where do you live? Any interesting hobbies? What have you watched on TV lately? You know, and then, or you can always go into the union stuff and the contract stuff. Well, what do you think of the contract? What do you think the union's doing? That sort of stuff. Company rumors. But you can go all sorts of things. The key, and again, the key with the small talk is that you have to be very careful how you approach it. Mostly because you can't afford to sow too much tension in the flight deck. So most of the time you tend to steer away from hot button issues, things that you tend to steer away from politics and religion because people get very, very opinionated and very, very defensive when it comes to politics and religion. And this is not, I won't say that this is a hard and fast rule, something you really have to kind of learn to adapt to and play by ear because sometimes you can. And I've had some absolutely phenomenal debates in the flight deck, real solid debates with people I didn't agree with. But I think one of the great things about pilots is we're often able to recognize we're able to recognize each other as people. Part of the problem with um, society today is like is this need for politicians to sow division to get themselves votes, and so they create this society that's full of divisions that are just artificial because they're trying to get a vote. And yeah, so oftentimes if you go and just pick up a random person on the street and start talking about politics, 50-50 chance you're going to either have. Okay, and you cleared him to Vigma? Okay, yep, no problem at all. Yeah, there's a lot.
Moncton Center, Delta 873, flight level 220, climbing to flight level 230.
All right, Delta 873, you're identified. Continue climb flight level flight level 300 for now.
Flight level 300.
And somebody was looking to go away?
Yeah, sorry for that. I didn't hear the American 859. I'm looking to step away for 20 minutes.
Air Canada 859, I'm going to be closing down in 5 minutes, so you can switch to Unicom now, 122.8. Your surveillance service terminates. Have yourself a great day.
Okay, we'll do that then. Thanks for the coverage today. Have yourself a good one, Air Canada 859.
Yeah, so you have to be very careful about that. I have had some absolutely fantastic experiences.
Lufthansa 3 Victor, we're going to disconnect. We got to go to dinner, but thanks for being online. Have a great rest of your night.
Lufthansa 3 Victor, Roger. Have a great rest of your night as well. We'll see you next time. Yeah.
Yep.
You have to be careful because some people will take so much offense and everything is very personal. And proper debates shouldn't be personal. They should be, if not factual, maybe factual is not the word, but they should be objective. Should be based on trying to prove your point through facts, not
should avoid emotions, should avoid personal attacks, things like that. So it could be a big minefield. I really have to kind of play, but like I've broached them slowly, and then like as I feel the person out, and I feel like we're having I feel like we could talk about something that we disagree on, but we don't make it personal, then I love going down that road because I love having these debates with people. It sharpens my own worldview. It opens me up to other people's worldview. So I like doing it. But yeah, that's pretty much the number one answer is you talk. And this is the trouble. This is the one thing that of course VATSIM doesn't really simulate very well. Of course, most of the pilots are, most of flight decks are single pilot in VATSIM. So you're not what am I trying to say? You're not benefiting from that having that other person with you to keep you kind of on task. You can find other things to keep yourself entertained in VATS, unfortunately, because nobody sees what you're doing up there in your own flight deck. But yeah, in the real world, talking is the number one thing. There are other things. People will read stuff. They'll read, especially technical manuals. You know, you got 5, 6, 7 hours a day stuck in the flight deck. You know, why not pull open why not pull open the company manual, the airplane manual for half an hour and reread a section maybe you've forgotten about or you weren't familiar with or something like that. So yeah, there's lots of things sort of like that. Yeah, I like to do that too. I like to try and pull out and read, you know, for half an hour in a flight and just review it, just talk about it, and then maybe you'll come up with a question. Maybe the person next to you will have an answer. Maybe they won't, but yeah, it is tough. It absolutely is tough. It's a long way to go, and it can be very boring. And if you get the wrong person next to you,
Lufthansa 3 Victor Alpha, request at 5 flight level 400, please.
Lufthansa 3 Victor Alpha, that's approved. Climb flight level 400.
Flight level 400, Lufthansa 3 Victor Alpha.
Oh, Montreal's back. Nice. Or is it a new controller? It's a new controller. Haha. But Montreal's back. That's the important thing. They're back, baby. Let's see. Is this guy going through? There we go. Climb to flight level 400 Wilco. Using the good old CPDLC. Let's see if I can do this here. 3 Victor Alpha. Comms. Delta 873, you are stopping the climb at flight level 300, correct? Okay, yeah, there he is.
Affirm, Delta 873.
Delta 873, thank you. I did have some traffic inbound from the west. Looks like you are going to pass to the south of them now, so you can continue your climb flight level 340, and your final is going to be 340. You need to be even for a westbound altitude.
Roger, 340, Delta 873.
All right. And Lufthansa 3 Victor Alpha.
Azores 273, Moncton, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. Boston Center is not online. You can switch to the onward frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Unicom for Azores 273. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Air Portugal 247 Golf Heavy, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. Boston's not online. Switch to the onward frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Thanks very much for the service. Have a great evening. Portugal 247 Golf Heavy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Finnair 7 Heavy, Moncton, you're about to leave my airspace to the south. The New York Oceanic's not online. Switch to the onward frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Finnair 7, see ya.
Take care. Delta 30 Heavy, you're about to leave my airspace to the east. Gander Oceanic's not online. Switch to the onward frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Over to Unicom, Delta 30 Heavy, good night.
Delta 873, traffic here 12 o'clock for about 40 miles is a northeast bound A300, level at 350. Should be no conflict if you level at 340. Boston Center's not online. You're leaving my airspace to the east. Switch to the onward frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Good day.
Neil to Unicom, good day.
Condor 1 Charlie Heavy. I'm going to be closing down now. You can switch back to the Unicom and surveillance service terminates. Have a good day. Delta 4 Alpha Heavy Moncton, going to be shutting down now. You can switch to the onward frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
Over to Unicom, Delta 4 Alpha Heavy. See ya.
See ya. United 988, you can switch to the onward frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Over to Unicom, United 988.
Take care. And Lufthansa 442 Heavy, you're also leaving my airspace to the, or sorry, you're not leaving, but going to be shutting down now. So you can switch on frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a great day. Over to Unicom to the 442. Bye-bye.
JetBlue 44, you back? If anybody else is still on the Moncton Center frequency, Moncton Center is now closed. You can switch to the on-route frequencies and have a great day. All right, have a good evening, everybody. Thank you, Tom and GT. Thank you, Flash by Flash, and everybody else who was watching and listening. Moncton is out, and yeah, good night, everybody. Have a great one. We will see you guys all hopefully out there on the VATSIM scopes real soon. In the meantime, enjoy your weekend.